Ah. Oh, that's fucking good shit. That's so funny. What song is this? This Nickelback? Can you hear it? Kind of. I don't know this song. I'm not a big of a Nickelback fan.
See you at the show?
That's fucking too deep to Nickelback for me.
This?
Play some Hero by Chad Kroeger.
You don't know.
That's way better.
See you at the show?
I don't know. It's well enough to like karaoke it.
Well, that's an excellent intro.
We talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. What a fucking movie.
I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but I haven't seen it.
It's been out for a month.
Which one?
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Man, I saw
You
one.
see there, like
I saw one screen grab from it, and that's
Yeah.
all I needed to see. They made the meme happen in the movie. We're good to go.
Man, so good. Fucking rights.
That was a movie that Wacey actually went to see
Opening night.
at the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that
Huh?
that it was a thing still. Like theaters were opening.
I enjoy the
Wacey and
theater.
Storm and I went to see the new
I
James
enjoy
Bond
the
movie in
theater.
That was cool.
in like
I enjoy the
the
theater.
time
It's
of
very nice.
COVID.
In the time of COVID, and we got our truck stuck in the parking lot at Chinook.
So you got a full Alberta experience.
Yeah, we had to go all the way around.
That's kind of
and
flawed
not
the way
back
they
in.
run things at Chinook, though, of that parking
Yeah,
garage.
it's weird that they would lock that
that's
shit up
stupid.
later.
It's goofy.
Oh, stuck as in like they locked it.
Well,
They're
there's
locked
but you can get
box.
into it. There's just like a way different, like after hours, you have to get into it like a different way, which is stupid. But
Weird.
It's a real pain in the arse.
I got
Real
I got some movie tickets from one of our vendors at work who've done a bunch of video work for us, and that was the day that Spider-Man No Way Home came out, and I really wanted to go see it, so I went that night.
Badass. It is out of
Spider-Man's my favorite superhero.
I don't do superhero movies as a whole. Like the Marvel extended, DC
Nah, it's
extended,
deadly,
I
dude.
can't get behind.
Marvel,
but
better than DC,
but Tobey Maguire was the shit. when I
man,
was
so
younger,
those Spider-Man movies, like with Tobey Maguire, were the first like major superhero movies of our generation. Like I remember when those came out, and it was fucking sweet. And then Chad Kroeger drops that hot track,
Yeah, I mean,
Hero.
with the lead singer of Saliva.
evidently, the success of the comic book genre of film is because of Nickelback.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
So this is Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey. My name is Ted Stovin. He's Wacey Anderson, and our guest, co-host for the top and bottom of the show.
Koby Moore,
Yeah,
The one and only.
Koby
the
Moore.
photographer, man.
Thanks for joining us.
Not a problem. Thanks for
Appreciate.
having me.
Thanks for your insight on the in the comic book Chad Kroeger movie world.
Man,
Tie
what a
it.
way to end a fucking movie, hey? Just get Chad Kroeger on the top of a roof just shredding like a sweet song.
Kirsten Dunst is hot. That's what got me into it. She's old now, though.
Man, if they would have ended off the last Spider-Man movie with that song, I would have that could have died a happy man in that very moment.
Just full on. There's people
Just full on
dying
dead.
in the theater because they came full circle.
I'm so high, I can hear heaven.
In other news, Nickelback isn't as relevant right now because they haven't been doing much new music lately.
Their last decent album was Dark Horse, and everything after that's been shit.
They've only had one, haven't they?
They've had
Isn't it like
two,
Dark
or,
Horse,
two or three, like Feed the Machine,
Machine.
and there's another one too that wasn't as good. But
Oh, okay.
I feel like a band can only take so much bullshit before they're like, all right, we're just going to sit on our millions here for a while.
they still,
I guess
still,
when
like,
do you
they'll
quit?
still
When
sell
you just say
records,
fuck
man.
it.
And people there's still demand for their live shows. Like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like I've never seen Nickelback live, and that's probably like top 3
You've
on my
never
concert.
seen Nickelback live?
Top 3 on
My
my
first
concert
two
bucket
I
list,
have.
man.
concerts
Even
were
I have.
First
Just
two,
haven't had the opportunity.
first two concerts in life were Nickelback.
That's
the
so
second
sick.
time
and I
I
heard
saw
their show,
them.
and because like they Chad's they can sing,
Oh,
they
yeah.
can
No,
play,
they're
they
a really
rip.
good live show.
Yeah.
The second one was on the floor with my stepmom of all people, who at the tender age
on
of
the
how,
floor.
on the
with your
floor,
stepmom.
she handed me a joint. I mean, she didn't smoke any of it, but she
Did
handed
you?
me a
And you
joint.
did you?
I mean, I waited for her to look away and might have
Not a boy.
sniffed it or something.
That's so funny.
I was pretty young, but yeah. That's
So my buddy bought Rock Band for Xbox One, and they have like 4 different Nickelback packs that you can buy. So we were talking about that
Nickelback packs for...
So and he was just telling us he just fucking sings Nickelback by himself because he like obviously with Rock Band you need more than one player.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right? Isn't that sweet?
Well, that was the one thing that I felt was missing in my
And that's
Rock
where
Band
our
experience.
conversation last night started about on playing Call of Duty about Nickelback, and that's how I ended up changing my gamer tag to Chad Kroeger. And I made a new clan called Nickelback for Life.
You're not
But
Wusty
did
Wooter
you
anymore?
did you spell life L-Y-F-E?
Yeah, fuck yeah. And I used number 4, not FOR.
Clan
Nickelback
tags
for
can
life.
only be like 5 letters, though.
No, but you can name your clan, then your clan tag is our
Something from-
our clan tags end back, which is
Oh,
You can't do that.
Yeah, it's kind of
That might be
sketchy.
scary.
That's, you have to change that back.
I had someone
No, we're
tell me
allowed to
last
use it.
night
We're allowed to use it.
that I can't be Skoden. Said that was racist. So,
No, I tell him that I'm Métis, and I said you could.
all right, cool.
Anyways,
So, yeah. Anyways, it's cold as shit up here right now. So we've been playing
it's been
more
brutal,
Xbox.
man.
The three of us have been playing a lot
it's
of
been
Call of
so
Duty
cold.
lately.
We are officially battle-hardened brothers of war.
Yeah, we've been
Well, Wacey,
It's
when
been
he
so
accepts
fucking
my
cold
invites.
here lately. It's been 30 below
Like,
zero
consistently.
Celsius for
not
like
including
two,
the wind chill.
2 weeks. It's been really fucking cold. So
I
we've been
haven't-
playing some video games with our friends because we're all stuck at home.
I haven't logged on to the internet to look at the weather without it being like extreme
Yeah,
cold warning and
it's been
stuff.
extreme cold
It's
warnings
kind
the
of
last-
shitty
yeah.
that way.
So
quite
it's
a
fun
bit
living.
here.
And the most ironic thing about this whole weather deal is we leave for Texas again next week, and it's like plus 12 when we leave.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
nice here
it's
when
so
we
nice.
leave.
It's gonna
yeah.
get so nice.
Yeah,
here.
and then it gets cold again when we get
As
back.
soon as we get back.
Good timing. Yeah, 'cause
It's almost
it's actually nice here in the winter when it's kind of warm. Like it's actually okay.
If it's like minus 10, minus 15,
Yeah, like
I'll
today it's
deal.
pretty decent.
Yeah, like-
not horrible.
+5, 0. That's great.
Got better
I
again?
love it.
I don't like. So see, when there's this much snow on the ground, I don't like it when it's a bit warmer because it gets slushy and nasty, and
Oh yeah,
it's no
I
good.
mean, that just comes with the Calgary territory.
Yeah,
You're not
you
getting
get a
walloped
shock
with
next thing you
some
know.
fucking gravel on your windshield down the old QE2. You're not doing Calgary right.
Okay, question. How many times do you guys wash your vehicles in the winter
I'm pretty.
see, I would wash it next week when it's warm,
when it's warm?
but
and then
then
you'll
now
get slush back on and then be bad again?
and I just wait till the next warm.
So it
part to
ends up
wash
being
it.
0 or what?
Yeah, just every once in a while. I'll wash your-
I try, but it has to be a couple days of just straight up dry winter. I don't want
Yeah.
to go if it's just snowing every other day,
Mm-hmm.
or not minus 6,000 like it's been.
Yeah.
So I'd say a couple.
Couple? Twice?
Yeah.
What about you?
Not very often.
No.
I haven't washed it in like probably 3 or 4 months.
Then you
Yeah,
went
it's
and
been a long
sold
time
it
for me too.
Yeah, but I guess I just got this one actually. So like we got this at what, the end of November or something?
Yeah.
I'll
Middle of
probably
November?
do it when we get back.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah.
We might have some time then. I'm not doing it tomorrow.
If
No,
there's
not
anybody
tomorrow.
out there that
Or
wants to
today.
sponsor Cowboy Shit podcast with some good
Some
car
car
wash,
wash.
Some car wash and auto
you know,
detailing.
I know who you can
We
call.
want
That'd
you.
be sweet.
Yeah.
Speaking of sponsors, we have a few sponsors of this great show. First and foremost being Manscaped, and it is the new year, so you don't want to be going into 2022 with hairy balls.
How are your nuts, Koby? They shaved?
No comment.
Do you have a Manscaped
You have a bu-
device?
Honestly, though, like with how cold it's
Kobe,
been,
you
you
got
kind
a
of
big
want a bit
bush?
of a bush. But
You set that trimmer level up to 3.
so yeah, you kind of you put the guard on the trimmer, and you kind of have a. If you have a, what's the word for like a not curated, a curated bush. Is that a thing? I'm gonna curate your bush.
curate your bush.
Is that right? Manicure your bush? No, is that
No,
not?
it's
Curate
not.
works too.
What's
Curate,
it? What
yeah.
is it? You know, you want to prune your
Doesn't
bush.
curate
Prune
mean
the
Isn't that what you
maintain?
do when you fucking trim? When you trim a bush,
You got to trim the bush.
you manicure it or you prune it.
Nice manicured lawn, a nice manicured bush.
Yeah, you want to.
All right.
So,
It-
our friends at Manscaped have their new Lawnmower 4.0, and that gives you the perfect opportunity to manicure your bush heading into 2022, especially if you're in these cold provinces and states like we live in. Like the
I had
last.
to ask you, Kobe, you're here.
Well, this actually leads into a question I have for both of you after I'm done this part of it. But anyways, our friends at Manscaped are offering you a sweet deal on us, 20% off, free worldwide shipping at manscaped.com using the promo code HUGEBUSH. So I mean, whether you want to go right down to the wood, have a clean bush, no bush, or if you want to manicure your bush, the Lawnmower 4.0 will do that for you. So head to manscaped.com, use promo code HUGEBUSH to save 20% and worldwide shipping on us. So my question for you two doesn't really pertain to bushes, more so the facial hair side of things. This is a shower thought I had this morning.
You were thinking about me in the shower.
Like with the three of us between, like as a collective, we're not the best at growing facial hair.
My facial hair's on point. Thank you very much.
But you know what I mean, though. Like compared to most, we're no Santa Claus or like those kind of guys.
Sure.
So if there's one specific style of facial hair that you were like the best at growing, or like you could grow really well, what would it be?
Chin beard.
Chin beard, like just straight,
Just let it grow.
just your chin.
Well, I mean, chin beard. Chin beard more for the implication of the what it means. Just a big, ungroomed thing.
So
growing
like,
off
so
the bottom
no
half of
facial
your-
hair anywhere else. Just a huge like a billy goat.
What would I be best at growing?
No, what would you want to be best at?
Oh,
growing?
want it the Lemmy. If I could just
What's the Lemmy?
the Lemmy, the handlebar.
Oh, like the guy from Ace of Spades. Guy.
I think it's a little up the sides too.
Yeah, yeah,
handlebars and then like up.
Some
That
chops,
would be
too.
rank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Ted.
Probably mustache. I think my dad got a sweet mustache. I think I would like to do a mustache someday.
If he could be good at growing facial hair, it would be growing facial hair.
He'd be growing, yeah. He'd be growing facial hair. Because my current facial hair situation is real bad.
It's not great.
But I haven't tried in a long time.
I've heard girls like a guy that isn't so prickly on the face.
Oh, yeah? Storm? I'm trying some pyro shit right now. Let's just go ahead and start over.
Our next lovely sponsor who has been with us for the last few months, I guess.
Quite a while.
Ranchwater.ca, our friends at Circle 4 Beverage Company. They have their sweet water. They have their ranch water. They're taking over Western Canada in the ready-to-drink seltzer deal. So you can find them, but mostly any liquor store. If they don't have it at yours, you can request it just by talking to the person who does the ordering. It's pretty easy to do.
Yep.
Yeah, or else check them out at ranchwater.ca to find where they are located. And yeah, here we are.
Gotta say thanks to Cody Strandquist. We called one on the show and he went and bought some. I saw
Nice.
a Snapchat. He was at the liquor store.
Nice.
And he said when Ted summons you on the pod to go get ranch
you
water.
got to get the ranch water.
That's awesome.
They're
He
awesome.
actually got some. So thanks,
And-
Cody. Thanks for supporting the brand.
And
He
if
probably's got a ball trimmer too.
I would imagine he's
Do
a
you have a
top
ball
he's a-
trimmer, Cove?
I do not have the.
I used my
Manscaped.
Manscaped today.
You did?
That's great.
on your
On
balls.
your balls?
Oh yeah.
Or on your mustache?
No, I have a different face shaver. We talked about
okay.
this. We talked about this
Yeah, that's
before,
right, I
where it's
know,
like
I know.
that's really and truly. I probably would in a pinch use my Manscaped on my face.
If it was cleaned off.
Oh yeah,
There's
I
no
clean it.
pubes in
I
it.
clean it after every use, and I
These
only ever
guys
use
are
it in the
really
shower, so it's
afraid
not.
of-
So it's not like it's dirty.
It's true.
So I mean, it's whatever.
It's true.
It's my nuts.
And if your local liquor barn doesn't really want to take your SKU numbers down, you can always come to HQ. There's always a solid
We got a
supply
good
of
amount of ranch water at the
ranch
house.
we always
water
got
here.
ranch water on hand.
Okay, so big news in the last
PBR.
little while. Yeah, PBR teams. So it's starting off in June. The first half
This
of the
has been
yeah, we got a thrill.
This is so funny.
Well, speaking of nuts, the Teton Ridge Range Riders have a sweet logo and the
I
bull
haven't
on
seen
there.
it yet.
Really?
Yeah.
The bull on the Teton Ridge team of Glendale, Arizona. That you can definitely see the nuts on the bull. Like,
So what? So
Bull's got some
what are the
big
6
nuts.
teams, Ted?
I think there's
For the
8
pe-
teams.
Well,
Isn't there?
still, what are the names of those teams for the people who haven't heard or
What
haven't
did
looked at it yet?
Hold on,
what
I'm gonna
did
just
what did
look 'em up
Richard
here quick.
Childress name his team?
What's
I'm
that?
gonna
Sorry?
look. Hold on.
What did RCR Richard Childress?
We're about to
name
find
his
I think
team?
they're the Carolina Chaos.
That's not a bad name.
Okay, teams. Here we go. So we've got the Nashville Stampede. We've got the Teton Ridge. I don't know who they are. I forgot what the thing is now. But then we've got
Riders.
the Range Riders. Then we've got the Texas Rattlers, the Ariat Texas Rattlers, the Kansas City Outlaws, Carolina Chaos. That's your racing guys team.
Nice.
Oklahoma Freedom, Home Base America.
Well delivered, Ted.
I don't know what this one is. It says Thunder. I gotta look back at the thing now. Then the Austin Gamblers.
I think I want to be a Gamblers fan.
They've got a aces and eights on it, but they've only got 4 cards. I don't know what they're up to with missing 1 card. It was a full house, aces and eights. So I don't know why they only have 4.
Maybe
Probably just for the
cards.
simplicity of the logo.
Yeah, maybe, but if you're doing it, it's a card. It's not going to take that much more space to have 5.
Well, if
I don't
you,
quite
why
get
don't
it.
you make the logo then,
But it's a
Ted?
sweet logo. But so what my point is with the logo. So we'll go back to so it's the Ridge Riders. And you can definitely see the bulls. You got some big nuts on them there.
That's a pair of testes right
A pair
there.
of bull testicles.
Some nuts.
Holy.
Yeah.
Well, you need to know it's a bull.
Yeah,
Some
true.
big nuts.
It's
on 'em.
important
Most bulls have nuts that big.
because they'll be.
Yeah, it's true, but it's also
Did
funny
you know-
that their logo doesn't have a bull like bucking like with his back end up like most
Did
pictures.
you know?
Right? It just seems kind of funny.
Did you know that at like commercial bull sales, they measure the size of the scrotum of each bull because
Really?
it plays a factor in how good of a producer they'll be. So they'll
At
have
what
like
point? The largest
their
part of the smallest
circumference
point.
of the circumference of the nuts.
The nuts, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
And
Teton
they
Ridge,
measure the weight too.
Teton Ridge, Teton Ridge Riders.
I like their logo because it looks classy.
So maybe they're the Arizona Ridge Riders, or they're the Teton Ridge.
Probably
Ridge
their
Riders.
hometown.
Arizona Ridge.
Because like
Riders?
Austin, it's like I don't know.
Feels like
So then we've got
Arizona.
the Austin Gamblers. That is a cool logo. That's a sweet logo.
Yeah.
I do like that one. It's a kind of a
Like
for the Ridge Riders, it's 2 R's, and then it's a bull with his nuts on the bottom, and then a bull rider. Then you got the Gamblers.
We'll
there's
post
the Cowboy,
these on our social media, and you can
Yeah,
vote
you can
for
check
which
it
ones you
out.
like. We'll post them on our story. We'll
yeah,
do that.
there
definitely
you
check
go.
out the
Yeah.
Cowboy Shit Instagram.
Austin
See
Gamblers.
all these.
He's got 2 aces and 2 eights, all black
Immediately.
cards. Like kind of like a skull with green eyes, a cowboy hat. It's a pretty sweet logo. But they don't. The thing that I'm thinking about those, they don't really match. Like I think each team submitted their own logo, but with the NHL logos are all consistent.
Formatted the same.
They're formatted the same. The NFL, it's the same. The NBA, it's the same. Like there's the league is building the logos to ensure the
Well,
success.
it's probably like a set
there's
of parameters by the league.
yeah, there's
so that each
standards.
team
There's
set-
standard
yeah.
colors for jerseys. There's standard this. There's standard that. So there's no overlap. So there's like, I think there was a bit more. Those leagues have been around a lot longer. PBR's been around for a long time, but they've never really done this kind of
First
logo.
time.
But you know what they did with the Global Cup? They were all very consistent. I think the same person built all the same
Would've
logos.
been, yeah.
So my point being is that these ones don't look to be all the same, which I don't think is helpful for marketing the league as an
As a league.
entirety. Okay, so Austin Gamblers, Carolina Chaos. It's a yellow Carolina with a red Chaos in crazy letters.
Yeah, kind of 70s,
It doesn't-
80s.
It doesn't
random
fit
font.
with any of the two we've seen so far, in my opinion. Then you go to Kansas City Outlaws. It's like a word art format of Outlaws that we've seen. It's the Bleeding
It's the same
Cowboys
It's the same.
font that's been around for the last 15 years.
Well, that's Bleeding Cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh my.
100%.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
Right, and it says
definitely.
Kansas City. It's the Bleeding Cowboy with Outlaws in orange. So it's like that's not on. It's not the same as the other ones. Missouri Thunder. That's the logo that I was talking about earlier. That I couldn't see who it was, but it's like Bash Pro Shops Missouri Thunder. So that's a cool logo, but it doesn't match.
I feel like
the other
that
four
needs
either.
to be your guideline.
Your vibe.
Yeah.
You will not.
But to
yeah.
have a logo in there is probably off-brand too, because they're going to get to have a company in your city logo.
T-tone
A lot of
ridges on
but a
there.
lot of leagues do that though. Like you look at like European hockey and soccer, like they always like there's sports like their sponsors are incorporated into like their kits and all their logos and stuff. So it's not like
Okay.
a new thing, and it's coming to hockey and basketball and football.
Who's
It's not
to have a
new.
team like to have the Flames? Like, could you imagine seeing
Like
Scotiabank
Scotiabank?
on the Flames logo on their jerseys?
Who's
That's what
It's
I'm
gonna be. It's not
comparing it
far
to.
from it though. It's
Well,
on
it's
their
on the helmets,
already.
yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be on the logo side. That seems like a little aggressive.
Who's the ownership group on Missouri?
I don't actually know that
Because
I'd have to go back and I got to go back and look at the
Richard
website.
Childress Racing is probably part owned by Bass Pro. That's
Oh, okay.
One of their biggest.
I'd have to go back
sponsors
and
on all
look.
their
We can go back and look at that here in a
programs.
sec.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Nashville Stampede, pretty solid. Just McBride's the team.
That's
the
that's a
team
good
coach.
that's a good like format too
Pretty
though. Like it's
solid.
pretty clean. Yeah, it's clean. It's Like
Yeah.
you put that on a shirt and
I
a
think it's
jersey,
marketable. The merch is going to go. I think it'll go over well for. And same thing with the Missouri
Gambler.
Thunder.
And
I
the
think that's
Gamblers,
pretty
too,
solid.
will be
the
all right.
Gamblers. The Gamblers got the best one so far. I think. Oklahoma Freedom will go well for the.
But see, so you
Our
you
American
put
friends.
those you should put Oklahoma, Nashville, and Austin beside each other. That's like kind of a
That's pretty close.
yeah, pretty close.
It's not that crazy.
But I think
Then
it's just like I'm
then
no
you-
expert
Even
graphic
Rattlers.
designer, but it's hard to make that shit. But
Texas Rattlers.
this one's not that bad either.
no, it's good too. Yeah.
And this one had a lot of thought put into it as well because we saw it at the NFR. There was that full.
we didn't even know.
We didn't even realize what it was at the time. But this was in the booth at the NFR for the area,
and they
booth.
had their like kits like all.
They had a
out
full
there.
setup, yeah.
like their chaps and vests and everything. Which is
So
was all,
and-
was all on presentation.
I guess to
down
explain
there?
again,
Badass.
Texas
Really
Rattlers is Texas Rattlers with like a kind of a snake of some sort and Ariat on the bottom. So
again, we'll
probably a
post these on,
rattlesnake.
we'll post these on our social media
Rattlesnake.
for you to see.
Oklahoma Freedom is a bird with stars on the left wing and red, white, and blue. Nashville Stampede's kind of a bull with I don't know what you say. Just says Nashville Stampede.
Yeah, just
It
like
kinda
bull
looks
nuts,
like a-
yeah.
There's
it
like
kinda
three
looks like a
different
bull
bulls and
that's
it's
a-
blue and yellow.
Kind of looks like he's a
From
football
Nashville
player.
colors. Missouri Thunder's Bash Pro Shop on the top, another bullhead. Got some steam, but it's kind of a skull. It's got some thunder down on each side. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, just for those that aren't going to maybe see the logos on social, if they trying to explain best I can,
I
but
think
check it
that-
out when you can.
I think that the PBR is like genius for doing this, like applying it. The Global Cup success over the last couple of years has been stellar. As long as the riders kit is consistent, I think that's
sure
where
they
you're
will
going to
be
get
too.
your. I don't think we got to worry so much about logos themselves, as long as the way they look, the way they're liveried up, if you will.
Yeah.
But I think it starts with the logo.
Oh, it does
Though,
start
right?
with the. It starts in the logo, but you're gonna. You can brand any one of these guys in Canada any way you want with a whole whack ton of just random sponsors on them, as long as there's a consistency to the things they're writing in. Because a logo is just a logo. I wouldn't envision they're all just gonna have full on
Yeah.
jerseys, are they? I mean,
I don't know what
It's
they're going to
also
look
going
like.
to trickle down to you from what the PBR does. The PBR has to do a good job of marketing these teams and getting it into because they have a big platform as it already. So now it's just a matter of getting their audience on board with like who these teams are, who's part of these teams.
Yeah,
like,
and the
make
draft too
It's
sounds
like
pretty
similar to
interesting.
like you got to do it kind of how the NHL does it, right? Like so you have the NHL has their teams, but then they like really promote their stars, like the McDavids, McKinnons,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
But,
OVs of the
so
world.
here's a question for you: Are the individual riders going to be able to have their own sponsors on their team jerseys?
I don't think that'll be the case.
So Jose Vitor Lemmy gets $100,000 a year from Monster. possibly, but he doesn't get to wear it at the team events.
Then opt out of the team events if you don't want to go.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Be part of it, right?
What's the you said the draft is going to be interesting. What do you know about the draft so far?
They did the
lottery last night.
Draft lottery in New York City on Friday night, or Thursday. I don't know. Friday, Thursday.
Would have been last night's Friday night.
Okay, so Friday. So then they're going to get to pick out of the guys that declare that they're going to be in the draft. They get to pick in, I think, May?
Yeah,
at the World Finals.
End of May, yeah.
At the World Finals in Fort Worth,
Sick.
I think. Or in that timeline, somewhere in that area.
Cool.
So I think to answer your question about the personal sponsor, it's going to have to come from the riders and whoever they're working with. And it's going to be like, hey, I'm declaring for this.
Yeah,
But
and
I
I
mean,
wonder, so do you think they get a salary for being on the team? Do you think
I think
they,
isn't that the structure? Isn't
like?
that the structure of it supposed to
I have
be?
no idea,
Yeah.
and it doesn't say that. We don't know that anywhere. So we'll probably on one of our next few shows we'll
Be
have
able
to
to know
get
the
into
full
this a
form.
little bit.
It'll be cool
But,
though. I think it's huge. I think that's like for me. We talked about this a long time ago. Whereas like having a team aspect is going to be a lot easier to market to a casual / new fan, rather than it's going to be a lot easier to follow for people. Where it's like, hey, these guys are on a team.
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to win each.
And
night.
I wonder what the format's going to be like. Like how many guys, how many teams. So
You're
each-
gonna have to have a team of 15 or so because isn't it going to be like
Well, it's
such
essentially
team versus such team at
Right?
events?
It's
And
like
then
there's
short round.
there's two matchups per event for each team. I think.
Yeah.
That's how- so I can't remember who I was talking to about it, but it sounds interesting.
So
gonna be neat.
what the press release says for those that haven't read it yet, PBR Team Series inaugural 10-event regular season will culminate in a team playoff T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, November 4th to 6th. The league will launch with 8 founding teams, each scheduled to host in their respective city an annual bull riding event and Western Lifestyle Festival.
So I have a question. So what's it going to take for us to get a Canadian team in this?
It's not going to happen.
Don't think so.
Unless it was like a $2 million buy-in.
Yeah, I
to
was
the
gonna
team.
say it'll happen if you have somebody with
If you
a
got a bunch
whack
of
ton
cash.
of money behind
If, like,
it.
if- Calgary, if somebody here wanted to buy a
if you could,
team.
yeah, if you could find the people to get behind it, like would it be make sense to have a Canadian team?
I don't think so.
I think it
Not
would,
right now,
well,
not
because
with
it's-
COVID.
Well,
with
I'll
COVID,
COVID aside though. Like,
but I think that
Yeah.
we're overlooking the fact that it's just a team. We have Americans on all the Canadian
Well, but
teams
and
up here. It would be just drafting out of the same pool.
out of the same pool of guys. So it'd be.
So
I
it
don't
wouldn't
think it would work
necessarily
just quite
be
right.
Canadians.
but
You would
then,
just
so
be-
say you have a Canadian team though, so does that encourage guys to declare their
For the team
eligibility?
thing?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Like, would that be like?
I would
that
hope-
give incentivize like Dakota or
I would
Jordan
hope
or those
that
guys to go
Butters
after?
and Brock and Jerry.
It'd be cool,
and
it'd be
them
cool to
guys
have a Canadian
are-
contingent at that level, right?
It depends what the upside is. Like it depends. It depends what they can make. Depends what the World Finals event looks like. Depends what their goals are. Jordan Hansen, I doubt it because he's going to try to make the NFR. Like that's kind of his path.
Yep.
Brock, Dakota maybe. Dakota probably not as much because he doesn't want to be in the U.S. as much because when he was there it wasn't as great. He might be a
He's-
better team
I
guy.
think he's
Maybe I don't know.
He's going to be aiming for Rodeo this year in our conversations.
Actually, that's
So-
true.
So he might be.
He's going to go
NFR
on the
side.
PRCA side of things. So
I don't see him jumping on
Parsonage,
for extra.
doubt it. Who else? Lonnie West, I doubt it.
The young guns may as well. If it's just you just
Yeah,
have to have a
guess.
card, put your name down. They may as well stick their name.
Depends
down
who
there,
they
like-
get drafted. I mean, based on conversations we've had with Keith Ryan Cartwright, he's not going to draft any Canadians to the Nashville team. Based on some of our conversations, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong on that.
It's just
Who
interesting to
knows?
think though, like that could be a possibility. It's just like something new to rodeo and Western sports we haven't seen before, which I think could like inject some fresh life. into
It's
it.
the biggest change in the format of Western sports in the last since the PBR started.
Yeah.
So it's a major step. I commend them for doing it. I'm picking at a few things here, and I'm really curious as to what's
What's gonna
happens,
happen?
right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
And they might not know yet. There might be a lot of the stuff that still
Yeah.
is being worked out, right? But
I think there'll be a lot worked out. It
100%.
is 100% the brainchild of the Global Cup because, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
said,
The
it's
Global
so
Cup's
easy
sweet,
to market
man. It's
that
awesome.
to anybody.
Badass.
It's cool just to have again like as a fan of team sports, it's just cool to see a sport that's like predominantly individual and is an individual sport. Have a team aspect.
try a
Kinda
new
cool.
way.
Yeah.
And this could be the start of having those base salaries, having those, having some of those things.
yeah.
That's
treating these guys like actual athletes.
yeah, paying their way to go to different places, and some of these people so the Ariat Texas Rattlers based in Fort Worth are owned by the Fisher family. Arizona Ridge Riders based in Glendale, Arizona, owned by Teton Ridge. Austin Gamblers based in Austin, owned by Egon Durbin. And I haven't done enough research on the
Who these
teams to
people
know
are,
who everybody is yet. Carolina Chaos based in Winston-Salem, owned by the league and operated by Richard Childress Racing. So it's actually not owned by the team. They're operated by RCR. Kansas City Outlaws based in Kansas, owned by Pulley Outlaws LLC. I don't know who that is. Missouri Thunder based in Ridgedale, Missouri, owned by Johnny Morris. Nashville Stampede based in Nashville, Tennessee, owned by Morris Communications Company. And Oklahoma Freedom based in OKC, owned by the league, PBR, and operated by Prodigal, which is Prodigal Sports, which is Brandon Bates.
Yeah.
A lot of the different people that are on the Prodigal side, they do agent business in a lot of different major sports. So
I've always, anytime the conversation of these guys deserve salaries, these guys deserve, a whack ton in the bank account before they even get on one. While I agree with the argument, always comes down to how many people you're entertaining, and love the PBR to death on all sides of the border, but they don't entertain enough people to be able to vouch for, okay, here's a massive salary for you. However, the Global Cup and its success show that you can get the layman interested. You can get the layman to literally sit down and watch start to finish, because holy shit, what's happening?
Well, if you create fans
And
around the
that's
team, then your team competes.
that's
Like
exactly
it's
it.
one of those things where
You increase that viewership.
well, even talking to like JB Mooney last episode or a couple episodes ago, him being the highest money earning Western sports athlete at $7 million is it's wild that's like such a small dollar value in the world
that's
of
in like
professional
15
sports.
years.
You know what I mean? Like it's a long.
McDavid makes 12.5 a year.
Yeah, Austin
And
Matthews gets
yeah.
a $13 million direct deposit into his account every July 1st, which is fucking crazy. But I mean, it's hard to like different scales and different size sports.
So
but
yeah,
so
it's just that scale.
hopefully this is what
Continuing-
pushes the PBR
Yeah.
to like
maybe
get
it's
these
one of
guys
the new
paid
things.
and like
Yep.
so that they're actually
Agreed.
making money
Fully.
and you know what I mean.
And I think that base salary is important too. But
Yeah.
Okay, so the Unleash the Beast Premier Tour with the World Champion, that is going to end in Fort Worth, Texas, May 13th to 22nd. That's the World Finals now, essentially, in the world title race we've seen previously. Then you go on to the team draft, going to be on the 23rd, so the day after the World Finals in Fort Worth. Okay, the PBR Team Series builds on the existing structure of PBR with the same basic rules. Events will be structured with a tournament-style format with all teams competing in head-to-head matchups against different opponents each day. Each game will feature 5 riders per team squaring off against another team. Full team rosters will be comprised of 7 riders on the core roster and up to 3 practice squad members. The team with the highest aggregate score of qualified rides among its riders will be declared the winner of each game. The event winner will be the team with the most game wins across an event, with a special bonus round designed as a tiebreaker to determine final event standings. Team formatted bull riding events have been growing popularity since the debut of the Global Cup in 2017, which was predated by the PBR World Cup all the way back to like
Which were
2006,
those are awesome
7.
too.
Those were it's the same thing essentially. But going back to then, the team challenge was another part of it. Then you got the Cowboys Fair Kier, another kind of team
Which
event,
was a success for them too. Like that team challenge in Vegas today was great. It was awesome.
it worked at the time, I think, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. I don't know how many
Yeah.
people were going to buy a ticket to go to it either. So I guess
I don't think you could.
it'll be interesting. Yeah, not at the time, but
Yeah.
but this one I'm interested to see what happens.
The
But
numbers-
these are places where they've had events before. Fort Worth is actually interesting for the Austin team, because with the World Finals just happening there,
Yeah.
I wonder if there's another one. It's a lot of stuff in Fort Worth.
I think that the roster size, the 5 guys plus 3,
7 plus 3.
7 plus 3 really tells us that
That's
this
80
is
guys. That's a big.
it's
big
80
amount of
guys,
people.
but where 80 guys come, the end of the. I think it's going to be down to your world finalists and then velocity guys that are in town almost. I don't know if it's going to be just anyone interested can put their name down. If you've
Well, I
got a
wonder,
card,
because if
but-
you've got maybe this is where a guy like Jordan Hansen has like an extra place to make some cash, because you can put your name down top 80 in the world, and if he can be a practice squad guy, but it's like, hey,
Yeah.
I can come to this event and ride for you guys at this thing, then maybe you get an event fee. I don't know.
Well, a lot of our guys head down south. A bull rider knows what his season's looking like on the rodeo side reasonably
pretty
quick in
early
the year.
on.
So if you're just having a shit year on the PRCA side, why not?
But you gotta declare in May, though.
But even if you're doing well, like you say, if you kind of just ride the practice roster and you can jump in when you need to,
Maybe.
or whatever, or if
Based
you
on
go there and shoot
injuries,
the lights out,
tough to
like
say.
yeah, it's cool to see. It's gonna be cool to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, it's gonna be really
truly,
neat.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Okay, well, that is a bit on the PBR teams format and what they got on the go here for the season.
Got a
starting
sweet
in
interview
June.
on the way.
Yeah, thanks to our friend Koby Wanchuk for taking the time, seeing us here this week. But it's episode 108 of Cowboy Shit. I'm Ted. He's Wacey, our friend Covy. More here today. Thanks for being here. So we'll be back with the interview here right after this.
How the hell do we
Pew,
wind
pew, pew,
up
pew.
like this? And why weren't we able to see the signs that we missed? And try to turn the tables. I wish you'd unclench your fists and unpack your suitcase. Lately there's been too
Anyway. Our next guest is a CFR qualifier and just made his first trip to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo in 2021. He's a second-generation rodeo clown. Welcome to the Cowboy Ship Podcast, Koby Wanchuk. What's up, dude?
Thanks for having me.
We could not resist pulling in that the second-generation rodeo clown part of it.
But Wacey, like it should be retired second generation,
Yeah.
right? Like because you're not in the rodeo
No, it's true.
in that business anymore, right?
I haven't clowned for a little while now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you miss it?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say I missed it, but I dang sure loved it while I was doing it.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
Were you forced labor?
No.
No. You did it. You did that willingly.
yeah, yeah. It was about the best childhood a guy could ask for. Shoot,
Yeah, really.
got to play with toys, doing quads and stuff, and
Yeah.
Go
Blow shit
rodeoing
up once in a
everywhere?
while.
yeah, travel
Yeah.
all around rodeo, and yeah, it's pretty
So-
fun.
So, Wacey was joking around a little bit, but tell us about that and like we're not trying
Well,
to.
but for those who don't know, like Colby's dad is Ricky Ticky Wanchuk, like one of the
Yeah.
like longest running and like most famous
Yeah.
rodeo cons we have in Canada. He's been kind of almost an innovator.
when
in
did
that
he when did he
space, too.
start doing? When did he even start it?
Oh shoot, he's I think 44 years.
44 years.
I want to say.
Because like a place like Bruce, he's been to every one of every Bruce since he's been in the rodeo entertainer business. He's been to every one of them
Yeah. Like there's a lot of rodeos he's been at for
forever.
long time, long before I was born, and then I got to go to all of them and
Yeah, for
got to grow up in the arena.
from your entire childhood, like when you were as soon as you were born to essentially like you did that till you were what 15, 16? Like I don't know when you got out of it.
Yeah, I guess probably 16, 17 when I started rodeoing hard and
Yeah.
trying to ride broncs and make a real go at it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Did you have to like sit your dad down and be like, "Hey, Dad, like I love doing this with you, but it's time for me to go ride saddle bronc horses now."
I don't think there was ever really that conversation. He was kind of always fully supportive of whatever I wanted to do, and he knew I wanted to ride broncs, so he was excited to see me go do it.
Well, and it's like a family affair. Like you got to spend all that time with your family on the road, going to all these big rodeos around Canada. Like it's a pretty cool way to like grow up and be around the sport. Like it had to be pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. Like I got to meet so many different people from so many different places. We'd start in Cloverdale in May and be busy every weekend till the end of September, and I got to grow up in the arena. Got paid to act stupid and have fun. It's pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, totally.
What's your most memorable kind of I don't know rodeo or event or day when in that part of your life when you were on the road? What do you remember most? I wonder if there's one specific thing or if there's a few things. I'm curious.
Well, I mean, we got to go to some cool rodeos and got to do a lot of cool things along the way. There was one big wreck that I remember.
Is this
quite a
Grand
bit.
Prairie?
No, this was.
Was this a wreck with your dad? Like when did he hurt himself somewhere, or was this something in the arena like a rodeo? Like was this Cloverdale where did something really wild happen at Haywire or at Cloverdale?
If you might just tell us here.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious.
there was we had a few wrecks, I guess, throughout the years, but one that I remember a lot is the Lakeland finals, and I don't know, I was about 14, I think, and we were doing the White House act. We blew up the outhouse, and Dad had packed the bomb for it, and one of his old buddies come along and started visiting with him, and he was chatting away and accidentally packed it a second time. And
Oh, no.
that's a pretty small indoor arena.
Yeah, it's tiny.
And
In St. Paul.
me and my buddy Braden, we thought, we need to show this up a little bit. Like, it can't just be a big bang. It has to look like an explosion. And we're faster than electricity, so we'll put a firework on the inside of this outhouse.
Oh God! So there's not just double, but there's extra
triple
pyro
firework.
too.
Yeah, and I had figured out how to make smoke bombs at that point. So
And
I figured that'd
you
be
said you're 14.
I figured that'd be a pretty good idea.
Oh gosh!
And, it's a little indoor arena, and when we hit that switch, and both of us come out the roof, and the skis on that thing, on that outhouse that we used to pull it out, they'd been on it for 30 years, and they disintegrated. And the roof split in half, and we weren't faster than electricity. That firework hit the roof and blew up in there, and we had little welts all over our backs.
Oh,
Nothing
man.
too bad, but. And that little indoor arena just shook, and all the dust come out of the rafters. The
Oh my
replay board
God.
flickered. But
Oh my gosh.
That's wild.
What did Emery Erickson think of that? He's probably still announcing that.
I'm not sure if Emery was still there at that time, but
Oh, jeez.
my mom was videoing, and you can hear some choice comments out of the stands. But
Oh, God.
So were any of those acts? Did you come up with any of those as you got older, or would you usually chip in with your dad like, "Hey, man, like this would be funny if we threw this here"? Or?
yeah, there was always some of that. I mean, me and my brother, and there was always, a cousin or a buddy of ours that come with us. Like there's always a gang of us going, and we'd try stuff all the time. We'd look at something, we're like, well, this would be pretty funny if we did this, or it'd be pretty crazy. So we'd give stuff a try, and that would cause some of the wrecks we had. But
Jeez. So that's the most memorable. Like, is there another one? Like, it seems. I feel like we could go.
Is
we
there,
could
is,
do
there,
a
is there one that you
2
would-
hours of this?
your dad would like put into the schedule for the rodeo, and he'd be like, "Oh man, like I really don't want to do this one, or I just hate doing this one."
not really, not that I can think of. I guess another good one was we'd just spent a few months building a new fire truck. The old one, motor blew out of it, and a few years later we decided we were going to rebuild one, and just got done with it. And Dad had kind of tried it out in Bruce the day before and just eased around with it, and then I was up in the Novice bronc riding in High Prairie, and a couple days later, and my dad's done High Prairie for a long time, and he says, "Hey, you mind help me today, and we'll see what this fire truck can do."
And so, what does he mean by helping you? What did you get roped into?
Just do the act kind of like I always did, I guess. And at the end of that act, that fire truck stands up, does a catwalk, and then the one tire locks up and it does a donut. The
I've never
tires
seen
in
the
air.
video of this.
Yeah, and
Oh man,
so we just got done building this thing, and like we had built the gas pedal in the back, and I'd welded it, and like it wasn't the greatest. I said we should go buy one, but no, we welded up, and I said, "Dad, you're getting a little older. Maybe we should put a kill switch, like a breakaway switch, like a sled on it." And he says, "No, I was always able to knock that gas pedal off and get it stopped on the old one, and we'll be all right." And the brakes we'd put on, we couldn't quite get enough power out of them, so we put a snipe on top of it, just piece of pipe just to get a little more power, and then that back brake would lock up. So he's gonna crank her wide open up there, and we get going, and this thing is way faster than the old Toyota fire truck. It's moving, and he's coming around there, and the brake lever bends, and that pipe just falls off, so he lands flat on his back.
No.
And that gas pedal's wide open, and the truck comes around once more, swings over top of him, hits the ground, and I realize that engine's still wide open,
And you're up in the basket.
just laying on the ladder, up at the end of the ladder, and I started crawling down to try and get to the gas pedal, and I looked up, and I'm not going to make it before we hit that fence, and so I just rolled off and skidded a little ways, and that truck went wide open into the fence there. Lucky High Prairie's all solid drill stem pipe fence.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was a few changes that set up after that one.
Jeez.
Well, that's wild. That's wild. You guys build all that stuff out yourself too, right? So I guess like stuff like that is bound to happen whenever a guy works on stuff. You know what I mean? Like I think when it's just like part of it, but that's wild.
It's the fun of it too.
Yeah, it's really cool
Yeah.
to like tinker around and like get stuff dialed in. And I think that's one thing that gets lost in like with like rodeo entertainers and rodeo clowns and stuff, is that it's not just guys being in the arena just be fucking around being funny, you know? Like there's an art to it. You got to be able to like manage people and situations and be able to make people laugh. So I think that's something that obviously your dad's been able to do for a long time.
Yeah, and he's worked very hard at doing it the best he can do, and like he stresses a lot about it, making sure everything's right and trying to do everything right, and spend as much time as he can outside the arena visiting people and trying to promote the rodeo world and the cowboy culture, I guess.
And I think something too that people forget about. I think it's easy for people like inside the circle, like if you know Ricky and Dennis and all those guys, like it's hard to it's easy to forget like the impact that those that they have on people outside of like the people in Grand Prairie or whatever. Like they like if your dad taking the time to go talk to some people, like some fans there or whatever, like that's a big impact on people just because they've been around for so long and they're funny and people like to be around. It's like we even see it with Brinson all the time at the PBRs. Like when people like Brinson interacts with people at the events, like they love that shit. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, and it brings people in and it builds fans. I mean, he's always about the kids, and it's for the kids, and the kids want to come to the rodeo. They're going to bring their parents. They're going to talk them into going, and they're going to continue on to be fans, and it's going to grow the sport.
So as your dad gets older and stuff here, do you ever have to tell him to kind of like dial it back on some of the act stuff, or does he just like he does it on his own thing, or what?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Had to maybe tell him it's time he quits getting run over by a dirt bike.
What age is your dad? I don't even know this.
He is 70 years old now. Just turned 70.
Okay.
Because there's the one where he rolls the go-kart too, but that's intentionally he rolls the go-kart, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because the first time I ever saw that,
Don't give it away.
oh shit. Well, because it's like the first time I ever saw, it, I was like, holy shit, like this guy's dead. he just died. But then as I got further into the industry, I was like, okay, like this is happening at more and more places.
Yeah. Well, it was only a couple years ago he was trying to figure out how to put a bigger motor in it so he could roll it and have it roll right back over on its wheels and keep driving.
Holy crap. Jeez. Okay, so you said a minute ago you were 14 and you figured out how to build smoke bombs. Would you elaborate on how to build a smoke bomb and how this happened?
This is not us saying that you should go out and build a smoke bomb after
for liability
Kolby tells
issues.
you.
Yeah.
Just hypothetically.
Not to be tried at home. We're trained professionals, obviously.
Yeah.
Trained for 14 years old.
No, it's...
You guys took a lot of pyrotechnic courses, right?
Yeah.
Certified.
Yeah, certified courses. It's actually pretty simple. Just mix a little, about 50-50 gunpowder and baby powder, and
Really?
it just doesn't really burn.
What do you
Just
put it
smokes
in?
like crazy. I just wrap it up in a piece of paper towel and tape the top,
Really?
and yeah,
No way. And then you just light it on fire from the bottom?
and just smokes like crazy and doesn't really take off burning
Damn.
if you got your measurements right.
Yeah, you got to mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
Baby powder. Jeez.
So then did your dad get you like packing the bombs and stuff too when you were doing it, or is that like that was his job?
Those are straight gunpowder?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or what are they? I don't even know. I have no idea.
There's all
Or
different.
is it a trade secret?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but he uses all sorts of different things. I mean, he's got like different fireworks and
Yeah.
like bear bangers and then some he makes himself and all sorts of different things. Whatever will make the right effect and look best for that part in the act.
Is there a clown act that you've ever pitched to your dad that you thought was going to be awesome, but he said it was no good?
I don't know. I think he was.
Or if you were to step into the arena today, what would be your like go-to clown act?
Oh, well, the fire truck was always a favorite of mine, and it generally went wrong. Quite a bit. Gotten some wrecks with it, but it was always a fun one to do, and the crowd always loves that one.
So have you been hurt worse clowning or rodeoing?
Rodeo, sure.
Has he have any like injuries from like broken arms or anything from the rodeo clown stuff, or is it been to be able to dodge it?
Yeah, just bumps and bruises. I mean, my dad, he's had a lot of injuries from it, but he used to do a lot crazier stuff back in the day too.
Yeah, fair enough.
And took some pretty good wrecks. He's got a lot of broken bones from it, but I just kind of had bumps and bruises from it, and never anything too serious.
What about what does his career path look like as far as that goes? He's 70 now. Like, does he plan to keep doing it forever? Will he pass it on to like Casey at some point, or kind of I have no idea what's the plan.
It's tough to say. He threatens to retire once in a while.
Yeah.
Well, when he had his 70th birthday, maybe I'm getting a little old to be doing this, but he said, but they keep calling and hiring me, so I guess I'll keep going.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
and
don't know.
there's no retirement plan for a rodeo clown. You're a contractor, but what's his real job? Otherwise, I don't know. Like, what else he does?
He used to be a crane operator. He's pretty well retired now, just
From
clowns.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. And who was that for?
Mammoth crane.
It was Mahmood. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. And that because you guys are in Sherwood Park.
Yeah.
And isn't that where they're headquartered, or are they somewhere else? They have to have a shop there.
Well, they've got a big shop there. They're kind of
Yeah.
all over it. I think they're out of Holland, I believe.
Oh wow, okay.
They
Cassie
have-
Hausar used to work for them.
They had offices and stuff in Calgary. And
Yeah,
stuff, yeah.
I met a guy from on a plane one time.
They've worked with
randomly.
some, and I worked for that construction company.
They did some stuff with bull busting too at Cody's thing. They would they used to have crane guys come and stack those trailers at the bull riding.
Okay.
And it was Mammut. They like sponsored that part of it, I think.
Okay.
At one point, yeah. Interesting. Okay, so that he did that for a long time.
Long time. He hauled logs for a lot of years.
And born and raised Sherwood Park. Is that right?
I am.
You are?
He's from up by St. Paul.
Oh, he's from up there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right up by Boyne Lake, Spedden area.
Okay.
And but I think he's been in Sherwood Park 40 some years.
Okay.
He's a landman. He rode some broncs, ended up getting on a few bareback horses. He's done a lot of stuff.
Done it all.
Trucked for a
Probably got
while.
a few bulls or something back in the wilder
Oh,
days
yeah,
or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's-
all those old boys, like that's all they got on. They did all that
Everything.
shit. Yeah, they're crazy.
So he, how did he get into the clowning side of things?
He was fighting bulls and
Or you had to do both back then, didn't you? Wasn't that a part of the deal?
yeah, kind of, and he kind of became that guy, and I think it kind of started out. When he'd jump up on the fence fighting bulls, and he'd have his face paint on, and some kid would start crying. So then he started packing candy, like suckers and stuff, in his pockets, and he'd jump up on the fence, and some kids start crying, or there's some little kid there. He had a piece of candy, and he kind of started to love that side of it, and being able to entertain and being able to make people smile and get kids excited about it, and just kept heading more and more in that direction.
Well, so are we still on the rodeo clown train?
Wherever you want to go, man.
So when you're turning 60 or 14, 15, that age, like when did riding broncs and following that path come on your radar? Was that always the plan from the beginning, or?
That was I guess I can't put an age on it, but it was kind of always something I was really drawn to. Right from little, like I was always, the bronc riding was my favorite event. I wasn't missing it. I'd run up to the fence and watch it. Didn't matter what we were doing.
Did you ride steers and stuff too?
I rode steers a little bit. Wasn't too good at it.
It would have been hard to balance though if you're at the rodeos like with your dad it'd be hard to get down the road, and that like if that 13, 14, 15 age like would make sense why you probably didn't pursue it as hard as some guys did.
Yeah, and that's I do it where we were, and anytime we had a day where we could make another rodeo, Dad would take me there, and we were gone. But I guess I was always wanted to ride broncs. That's steer riding was just something I could do on the way, and my parents wanted me to wait till I grew up a little bit because I was pretty small and scrawny, and glad they did. Probably would have hurt a lot more. And so I guess I was just about 17 when I started getting on broncs, and
who were some of your mentors at the beginning? Then you starting at 17. Like some guys start in the novice like pretty young at like that 15, 14 age. So who's some of the guys that kind of helped you along the way there?
Well, Mel Highlands helped me right from the get-go. I mean, he's friends with my parents, and when he heard I wanted to ride broncs, he went and found a saddle for me. He gave me his old chaps and spurs that he rode, and got me all set up and kind of, run me through the basics a little bit. And I was headed to my first school, and I was entered at the high school rodeo the next weekend. I was dead set. This is what I'm doing. And he still helps me to this day. I still call him, and
he was in Vegas too.
Yeah, he come down for the whole deal and got to hang out and run into lots of old buddies. And
that'd be the cool part of being able to grow up the way you did, like being around the sport, and your dad being a guy who's been around it forever. His Rolodex of people that he knows in the industry is probably never ending. So it'd be cool to have like access to that many people, especially starting out saddle bronc riding.
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, the help I've gotten, and I knew all the stock contractors before I started, so I wasn't some scared kid showing up to their rodeo. I'd go up and visit with them and ask them about horses, and they'd help me out, and then all the committees, that I met, and the support that I've got, it's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal. The people that are willing to help and want to help.
When was the first school? Whose school was it? And then when was the first high school rodeo?
The first school was one the CPRA put on, and it was a fundraiser for Canadian sports medicine. And there was quite a few instructors at it. I think Todd Herzog was kind of heading it up, but there was a lot of guys there.
Where was it at?
In Stettler.
Oh, okay.
And then I was already entered at the first high school rodeo this spring in St. Paul next weekend.
Oh, really? So then you rock and roll from there. And
Were you good? Were you good right away?
Yeah. How long did it take to kind of
Well, I thought
do it? Bronc riding's hard to learn. It's the toughest one.
Yeah.
Steepest learning
Like
curve
that
in rodeo.
and tie-down roping are the toughest events to learn, aren't they?
Yeah, and I went to that school and I rode a few there, and I thought, oh, this ain't too bad. And I went to that high school rodeo, and I just about got my first one ridden there, and like, oh, I'm gonna get this figured out. And then I hit the ground pretty aggressively for quite a while after that.
So did you get disheartened at any point there, or were you kind of just like stuck with it? And you guys probably a good support system around you too, right? With
Yeah.
other people you know.
Really, really good support system, and I wouldn't say I ever got disheartened. I wonder sometimes, like, am I
doing the right thing?
Yeah, what am I doing? Why isn't this working? But I guess I was always looking forward, and it just more and more got it figured out more and more as it went, and got a little easier, and wouldn't hit the ground quite so hard, quite so often.
How old were you for that first school? Was that 15, 16? When was that?
I was 16, just about 17, I think.
Okay, so it really hasn't been that long, honestly, because you're 21 or 22 now.
25.
25 now. I have my numbers way off. But seriously, that's only like 9 or 10 years to get from being there to like you said, you weren't great at steer riding, and then go in and do a school at 16, and then less than 10 years you're at the NFR. That's a pretty neat progression.
Yeah, and I guess there's a lot of horses went into it.
How many you think?
Oh, I couldn't even say. I mean, Vermilion at Lakeland College there, I got on a pile of horses there.
You went to school there too, right?
Yeah, and that's the 3 years I was there. I got on a pile, and it was awesome. We had kind of unlimited horses as long as it wasn't too cold to buck.
That's a great facility there. Like,
who all brings horses? I've been there lots. Yeah. There's like Woodward's bring tons over there, right?
Yeah,
Buckers does sometimes too.
Yeah, Outlaws. Yeah.
Like Chunky Woodward, he kind of runs it, and he gets the horses lined up, and he's always there telling you get on another one.
Yeah,
and
he's a good guy to have around, old Chunky.
Yeah, real good. And then C5 Rodeo, they probably brought the bulk to the school.
Yes,
there.
when we talked to Tyson the other couple weeks ago, he said that's how really good buck a lot of horses out there. So it's good to have access to that, hey?
Yeah, and there's a pile of contractors that come there, like all the McDonald's in that country, and Dwayne Bull and Ash Cooper, and there was lots of guys came there. We were always have lots
between
of
like
horses.
the college rodeo in there and the amateur rodeo that's close, like Lakeland WRA, like that's like all around there. So it's like you can get a lot of horses in 1 year, just by being in Vermilion in a sense. It's kind of like a rodeo hub in a sense for Alberta.
Well, and it's basically Vermilion or Olds for college rodeo in Canada. That's it. And
U of S had a team.
Some of the other ones are starting to get teams and practices together a little
Lethbridge
bit.
has one now too, I think.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
But at the time, this is I guess only like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah,
but it's still mostly those are the two big ones, I guess is what I should
specify. That had practice facilities and regular practices and.
You used to have kick-ass bull riding in Vermilion.
Oh, the PBR
was so
was
much fun.
because it was right on
Valentine's Day.
and it was right on
February.
Don's school.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That was a rocker of a show.
Badass, man.
I remember going there when I was
so
like
fun,
16, 17, 18, during that bull riding school. We had a fucking fun
so
time.
much fun, man. That was like every moment that I spent in Vermilion in my life has been so much fun.
Yeah,
it's been a blast.
They know how to have a party there.
Oh, dude, how many hours do you think you put in at the zoo?
Oh, that's tough to say. I even worked there.
You worked at the zoo?
What was your job at the zoo? Were you a bouncer?
Well, me and a few buddies part time. We'd go in and run the shots bar once in a while. They have ladies' nights.
Really?
Would Danny have been there too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Van Denemeel, that fucking guy.
That's actually as Danny and I were the the
shop
first
boys?
two that got it started, and then it was kind of just we'd take turns on the rodeo team going and helping out.
That's
and
so good.
for ladies' night.
Oh,
Well, that's so for those who don't know who are listening, the zoo is like Vermilion's college, like it's the college town bar. Like
College
it's-
bar,
if you're in Vermilion, like they're partying there every night at the zoo. Like I've had a lot of fun times there. I got abandoned by Tim Lipset and Cody Floyd one weekend.
You got what?
Abandoned.
Abandoned.
Yeah, so we were.
You got left at the
so
bar.
we like.
Did
so,
you stay there overnight?
So here's the story. We were all living in Saskatchewan still, and I just got done my first year on the rigs, and I was like, "Hey, let's go rodeoing." Let's
go party.
So Tim and Cody called me like, "Hey man, we're going to Vermilion. It's college rodeo. It's like the Little Royal, I think, or whenever the spring,
Yeah.
whatever the spring college rodeo
That's
there is.
Little Royal, yeah.
Yeah, it's a blast. Like, yeah, we're gonna get on bulls and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, so we show up there. We get there Thursday night, go straight to the zoo. Cody was
Gotta
seeing,
go. It's only 2 hours away. Gotta go early.
Cody was
Gotta-
seeing somebody.
Be there a day early.
Well, it was like both Cody and Tim were in Regina, and I was like by Saskatoon, so it was far enough drive. But
It was
anyways,
like 3 hours.
yeah, like 3 hours. And they so anyways,
Rodeo
Cody
didn't start till 7 o'clock on Saturday.
Cody and well, we weren't even rodeoing. They said we can go
We
get
were
on bulls.
riding?
We weren't. But Cody and Tim were seeing people there, like girls.
Oh,
So we get to the bar, and they're not even old enough to get in the bar, so they get kicked out right away. And then I'm by myself, so I have
In
to
the
like,
bar?
in the bar. Like
well,
they
at least
didn't-
you're in the bar, not by.
I didn't know where they
yourself.
were, so
Oh.
like I didn't know where I was staying. They had all my shit in their truck, like
Oh,
they were
no.
gone. So luckily I had some friends from back home. We were going to school in Vermilion. Like, hey, yeah, come stay at our townhouse.
Like Lehman.
No, it would have been like some friends from like around Nacum area.
Oh,
They're
okay.
like doing some egg courses and stuff.
Oh, like not even rodeo guys.
Yeah, they weren't even
Oh.
rodeo people. So, anyways, I was like,
Luckily you
like,
had friends.
I legit. That's where I met Armando the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he was partying there, and I like met this Mexican guy. I was like, he's like, yeah, bull riding, yeah, tequila, fine. So we partied with him, and then I didn't see Tim and Cody until the Saturday night at the perf of the rodeo.
What? You just
And
had no clothes, no
Nothing,
shaving
dude.
kit.
And I was pissed, like, cause like, hey, we're going to Vermilion.
They probably didn't answer their
They
phones.
didn't answer their fucking phones. Like, just abandoned
Didn't
me.
get on any bulls.
Didn't get on any bulls. And then all of a
Phone
sudden,
died.
I'm sitting in the stand, just fucking glaring down Cody and Tim because they're seeing with their little girls and they're just hanging out. And then all of a sudden, someone yells at me from behind the she's like, "Hey, wait, you want to get on some bulls?" I was like, "Fucking right." So like, go to Tim and I get his truck and then get his keys and I end up getting on bulls. But yeah, they abandoned me for like 2 days.
Oh,
for
wow.
Vermilion, just because they're chasing tail.
Did you ever get abandoned in Vermilion?
He lived there. He is Vermilion.
No, I wonder though. There's got to be some fun zoo stories from.
I mean, can't say I ever got abandoned. I was
What's
I
the
was-
wildest thing that happened as a shooter guy? So wait.
how many of the Cougs did body shots?
So
on
were
and
you
Danny?
were you guys like, you know, like, because like ranchers used to have the shooter girls, she'd walk around with like the Jack Daniels holster and just like would pour Jack Daniels down your mouth. Was that what you guys did?
no. We just stand up there and we had a big folder with all the different shots, and
Because you didn't know.
it was actually our first
Yeah, you
night
didn't make
there. A buddy of ours, he just got a big scholarship, and he already had got a bunch of scholarships. Pretty smart guy, had already paid off his schooling. So
wow.
this scholarship was getting left at the zoo that night.
He had just straight cash in his pocket.
Yeah, and he come up to the shooter bar and was going to spend all there. So I learned how to mix shots in a hurry that night.
Dang.
He come up and ordered 20 at a time, and
Oh my god.
Jeez.
So would you guys do like the one for you, one for me policy ever, or was it?
not at liberty to say.
Yeah, I didn't play. Well, the zoo's closed now, so I mean,
Yeah,
but no, that's
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
we know
I'll
it
sneak
goes
the
to
odd
zoo.
one, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So then, did you would have graduated from Lakeland?
yeah.
What'd you
What'd you
graduate
study?
with?
Yeah. What'd you take? in school?
Power engineering.
Damn.
So I guess I was actually in school in Lloyd,
Yeah.
but lived in Vermilion and practiced in Vermilion.
So who did you?
And then
who,
did you continue on with the schooling after that, or do you have a 2-year degree, or is it a 4-year program, or how does it work?
It was a 2-year for
Diploma.
yeah. So like the first year you get your 4th class power engineering, the second year you get 3rd class, and I'm about to run out of time, I think, to go get my STEAM time for my 3rd class. So I might just be stuck with that 4th class.
Oh, okay. So you didn't quite finish the last one.
No, I
Okay.
You got to get 6 months in a plant, and been
Oh, you got to
kinda-
go to work with them.
Yeah,
You gotta
Oh,
some
you've been
hours
busy
in, yeah.
rodeoing in the meantime.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
kind of took off and went rodeoing.
That's fair. Hey, well, you're making a
Don't-
living doing
yeah, don't
this.
blame
You
me.
don't
Yeah.
need to go back to that.
yeah.
That's what happened to me too. Never went back to school.
I'm gonna go back. Next
Yeah.
time. It's like
Next year, that's 10 years later. Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
So
Here we are.
So you mentioned like being around some of the cool people, like the stock contractors and stuff in Vermilion. Like, were there some guys hanging around there that were mentors for you as well, or was it kind of just a
Oh, yeah.
learn by doing kind of thing? Or
Kind of learn by doing. I mean, there were a lot of guys and a lot of contractors that come by that used to rodeo, like Dwayne Pillman. He was up there, he used to ride broncs, and he'd help out quite a bit. And guys that were already rodeoing would come and practice once in a while and help out, and they'd always have a good school every year. And then there was quite a few of us there at that time. Like my first year, we get 42 horses bucked in a night, no problem.
Damn.
Guys would be looking for more horses.
Who else was there at the time? I have no idea right now.
Oh,
Danny.
Danny, yeah. Okay, you got Danny.
Dan the man. Danimal.
Chase Wiffle.
Oh, okay.
Mason Helmetzi. Shoot. There was so many guys, like especially that first year, there was a pile. And a lot of guys that
A lot of guys turned out.
A lot of guys that didn't carry on, but
lots
college
that have.
rodeoed and wanted to practice, and a lot of guys that carried on and
Oh, that's great.
and are doing good now. And we just get horses bucked, and at that time they allow you to serve booze at the practice, so the stands would be full for every practice.
Every
pen.
Wednesday night practice for Vermilion were fucking rowdy.
Yeah.
Oh man, it would be like beer and pizza, and they would fill them up, and people, like the kids would just come get drunk, and then you get the random people who'd want to get on a bull or whatever just to like do
what
it.
better way to start riding a bull than and drunk at a practice pen? On
a Shane Franklin bull that hasn't seen a person in its whole life.
Well, but V and them started taking those bulls to
when Monty like did a lot of cool
Yeah.
stuff there in Vermilion, like he was cool to have around.
Monty's
there.
still probably close by there now.
Yeah, I think so. He's closer to Hannah now.
Yeah, he's a little
is
further
he?
south these days, but
Oh, okay.
he brought
He was
bulls
there
there
a
for a
ton
long
at the
time.
time,
Yeah.
Did you ever do anything crazy at the fun rodeos? You ever like enter any other events, like bull riding or bareback riding or whatever, or you just kind of?
We did have one fun rodeo, and it was the now I can't remember exactly what they called it, but it was the biggest fun rodeo, and they'd have
Because I used to get Lane LaPlante to come announce it,
yeah,
and he would always just get crippled announcing it.
yeah, and they did that year. They had it where every program, like Ag Business, had a rodeo queen, and that was Tyrell Foose.
Nice.
Riding, riding broncs too, and like each program put in a queen, and that night was just a wild, fun one. I mean, and someone entered me in the barrel racing and pole bending and everything as well too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was good fun. We were doing rescue races and stuff like that.
Man, that's
that night.
sweet.
I ran down to go pick Tyrell Foose up, and he went to jump at me, and my horse spooked and went over backwards.
Oh
and
no.
the whole wreck, but
That's great.
pretty fun.
That's the one thing to give kudos to Vermilion. Like they did a really good job. Like they didn't just have the rodeo team in. It just they would do like the fun rodeos, and you guys would do like there's like so much.
I want to go to practice.
Yeah, there's so much
Yeah.
cool stuff that they would do. Like the schools that they'd bring in. Like everything was run through like their ag department, the rodeo team. They just really engaged that community of people and had some really cool stuff going. Like Band in the Sand. Like that's really cool stuff too.
They like everything's the students are involved. Like Bad in the Sand is run by students, and that's been a huge success for them. I mean, they sell that arena out. They put 2,400 people in that little arena, and
That's wild.
And-
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool facility. Like it's an older facility, but I mean,
Done a great job.
they,
though. I know.
yeah, they're awesome.
Like Jim Leitheiser was Battle River Rodeo for a long time, and then Battle River sold to Blaine Feisten, right? But he was the kind of ran that for a long time. Then Lee McMillan was there for quite a
Long
while.
time.
Those guys had that thing rocking for a long time, and then
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, was it Ashley Nicholson?
Ashley Nicholson was there for a
And
while.
then she married Kiefer,
Keith-
right?
Yeah, just Ashley
yeah,
Watt now.
she's
Yeah.
there now. Caitlin Ellis was there.
That's right. Who's
After
Ty's
Lee.
sister.
and Ty's sister Morgan married Riley Warren, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Caitlin married Grady Brannon, and now Ashley Watt's in there, and I've been going up there. We had a school there this fall, and I've been going helping out some of the practices. My brother's up there in school now, and
Is he bronc riding too? I don't know this.
yeah, he started a couple years ago. He hasn't been on a whole pile yet because there, hasn't really been much practice, practice pens the last couple years, and he's pretty handy team roper and calf roper, and he's going hard doing that now.
Nice.
But he's starting to get bronc riding figured out. It's coming for him.
How old is he?
He is 19.
Okay. And the bronc riding, like a lot of guys aren't really good off the bat. Like it takes a long time to. And like I wanted to ask about that because I remember getting on like a bucket machine, and I felt like I could spur that thing good in the bronc ride.
I could ride though. I could ride the world beaters on the bucket. I got on
I thought it
Davy
was
Shields
awesome.
Senior's bucket machine at the Medicine Hat Canadian Finals one year when I was like,
Yeah.
we were just there watching.
Yeah.
But I like rode and I was like, I'm going to be the greatest bronc rider that's ever lived.
But it's
hard, man.
But actually, like I remember doing that, and I thought that was the coolest thing. We had like the Robo Bronc or Robo Bull or whatever, and I was like riding the heck out of that thing, and I felt I always wanted to be a bronc rider.
There's a reason
the
like
classic.
there's nothing better than like good saddle bronc riding.
Oh yeah,
I love watching good saddle bronc riding. It's so fun. Even like with that performance we went to at Danafar this year, like it's just so cool to watch.
Oh,
the
yeah.
top level guys.
Pollockville
do
is
their shit.
amazing.
Oh man,
That place
Pollockville.
is so
Calgary,
unreal.
Calgary was
Calgary this
outstanding
year.
this year. Yeah, it was great.
Well, but my point would being though is I got on a couple steers with a bronc saddle, and I got fucking demolished every fucking time because it's just happened so fast.
Yeah.
And like I didn't ride bulls that good either to know like what was going on, but like, oh man, it was awful. Like I couldn't imagine getting on bucking horses because I only did that one time at a stag party at Skylar McBride's house. That was my lone bronc ride. But like to actually have a bucking horse, like I
You
feel
on,
like
like, a
I'd be
wild
in the
cherry,
swells
like,
every time, just trying to save my life because it's actually the backwards. To actually ride and spur a bronc, it's actually the opposite of what a guy wants to do, right?
Well, it's so opposite of everything you learn riding steers or riding a saddle horse or even a ranch bronc. Like you want to do everything so different, and in order to be successful at it, you got to really train your body and make that muscle memory because you can't figure it out while you're doing it. Like you
can't
have
think
to.
about it while you're
you
on
can't think about it. It happens fast.
So it takes like a long time. Like how many broncs did it take till you felt?
to just like click that because it happens to anybody who competes in rodeo. Like if you stick at it and you put the work in, like it'll eventually one day just click for you. Like when was that moment for you?
Well, I went a whole year where I'd reach up, mark them out, and that'd be about
That was it.
all I get figured.
Yeah.
And I'd hold my feet, and I was waiting. They all tell me they're gonna blow your feet for you. I'd be waiting for that, and
then
my
bam,
ass
on
would
the
be
head, on the
flying
ground.
about the third jump, and it was pretty well a whole year. And I guess I was at the high school rodeo in Pinoca, and I got on this horse at Darcy Hollingsworth's, and it's this nice old horse, and like I said, I couldn't get my feet to come out of the neck. I couldn't figure that out, and this horse rolled out of the chute, had to move to the right, and my right foot blew out of the neck, and then he had to move to the left, and my left foot blew out of the neck, and holy shit, my feet are back. Like I'm still on the saddle. And I tried to spur once and was a bit behind, kind of got rattled and held on for another one. And okay. And I went and there was the timing, and I spurred him for a few seconds after the whistle because I'm like, this is what it's
is
supposed
cool.
to feel like. This is what I've been
Cool.
trying to do.
And that was high school finals, so that was like maybe a year later or 6 or 8 months later.
That was well, that was just at the high school rodeo. I guess would be like 8 months later.
Yeah.
Like that was at the fall rodeo, and I'd started that spring, and from there I started to kind of ride him and spur at him at the high school rodeos. I still got bucked off a lot, but
Started going at him.
I had the feeling a little bit. I could feel something and knew what I was supposed to be going. Didn't always work out, but I knew how to try.
And then it finally just comes together, and then here you are now.
Yeah,
Well,
but then you go.
I wanted to get into something before we move on from the Vermilion days because we got some inside info from a friend of ours, Taylor Value.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled quite the April Fool's prank on you. It's the same Sprinter van that's in the front of the house.
And I also have some more info.
we
on
have
the
some more.
van.
Yeah. So what? So why don't you tell us what they did to you, or what they did for you? I guess, or April Fool.
Well, Taylor, she's pretty handy with that graphic design, and
works at a print shop.
Yeah, and was working at a decal shop there, and I guess Ricky Warren and Jake Watson, they come up with the nickname Pierogi Bandit for me one night. We were sitting around.
How much alcohol was involved?
Oh, tough to say again.
Enough?
Tough to say. Enough, yeah. And I guess I'm maybe about the only Ukrainian bronc rider going. And so they come
think of many others.
And you're right at the beginning of the pierogi belt. In Sherwood Park, like you're right at this. That's kind of where the pierogi belt starts in Canada, and it works
can't think
its
of
way
any
into
other-
Saskatchewan.
come from the heart of it.
Yeah, you're right in it. Right in
If
it.
your dad's from up by St. Paul, that's heavy.
You're close to
into it.
Vegreville, and that's the Ukrainian capital of Canada, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and so Taylor, she found a picture of me on on a bronc in Oakdale, California, and photoshopped the horse out of it and put a pierogi underneath me. And put it. It was.
We'll be posting
and it
this
was
picture when we
huge.
release Kobe's episode, so don't worry.
Yeah.
It was huge. It covered the whole side of the van. Great big decal on it. And, yeah.
So
Maybe
we
you
like
could be. Who's a pierogi company? We should get you a sponsorship with Chimo. Chimo pierogies.
we can.
that could come in handy.
Imagine just the big Chimo patch on his
Either that or Baba Jenny's pierogies. Could be good.
This is Koby Wanchuk, the pierogi band. If you don't eat Chimo, then fuck you. Oh, that's fucking funny. Holy shit.
Oh, so did you get them back yet?
How long did you keep the sticker on the side of your van?
Or did you? I hope you toured it around for a bit.
That would been so
It
good.
it was on there for a while. It was. They did it when it was dang cold out, so the decal didn't stick the greatest, and
okay.
it started to get a little. It started to rain a bit, and the pockets were all filling up with water, so I had to take it off. And
Damn.
Didn't want
now
to
my
wreck it.
mom and dad have it hanging up in the porch of their house.
We're gonna work on this Chimo thing for you, and we're gonna get a new one made. That's gonna
Oh
be good.
wow.
That's
Okay,
so funny.
and the van, which said sticker was on, has a pretty sweet name too.
Scarlett Johansson. I thought
where did that
a
name
long
come from?
time. I thought a long time about that. Well, J.K. Watson, he got a van a year or two before me, and he named his Pamela Vanderson. So I had to come up with something, just as good or better than that. And
Scarlett Johansson.
How many hours behind the wheel did it take you to dream that one up?
quite a few. I had a list even of possible names.
What are some of that hit the floor out? They got cut. They got snizzed.
Oh, shoot, Jennifer Aniston,
That's a good one,
Yeah.
dude.
Ivanka Trump. I had a few.
Oh shit!
Holy fuck, those are so good. I want to get a van now. Get Colby to name it for
I
me.
wonder
That's the
what
best
else-
part of getting a van.
Yeah, I wonder what other ones were on there, or what other
That's-
van names you could come up
Oh,
with.
that's so funny.
Oh man,
Let's have a contest. If Colby ever gets a new van, we'll have a contest just for the naming rights of the van.
Yeah.
oh jeez. What else could you put into one? I want to try and think one up right now. Storm, you got anything? Any sweet van names? Okay, we'll come back to this. I'm gonna dream up some van names too, because you're gonna will this always be will your van always be Scarlett Johansson, or will you have to get a new name?
You have to. It has to be a new name. Can't
Yeah.
be the same van name.
It's got to be
Yeah.
a new name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how long?
We lay Scarlett to rest. That's the end
That's
of
you
it.
it.
next
She's
time.
gone forever, man.
Dang.
R.I.P.
I feel like there's something with that you could do with Arnold Schwarzenegger, something about a van there, but doesn't make sense.
Has to have like a Han in it, like
Han?
Jennifer Aniston, or you know what I mean,
Han.
or like John
Van Solo.
John Van.
Van,
Is that John
see,
Hamm?
I come up with some other good names, but I figured it better be a girl's name.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
It's true. That's a good point.
It's like I even come up with Vanny DeVito. That was pretty good, but-
That's the short
That's
bus.
a fucking good one too. That's good. Oh, Storm, the heater, Evangelina Jolie.
that could come in handy.
Ooh, I like that.
sometime.
I like that one. That's good shit.
Vanny Berry.
Good try, Teddy.
I'm trying to think of who would be.
We can. So we can do. We can just park this and circle back.
Let's circle back. Let's take this offline and come back to it later.
Yeah, we'll circle back.
It's already
so
been
when-
a strong suit of mine.
So when did the decision to go pro come? When you fixed
it was
you figured-
in the novice,
Yeah,
right?
but after the when did you just hit the trail, start going down south and that kind of thing even?
I guess 2016, we rodeoed about as hard as you can in Canada. We're CPRA novice rodeo and CCA, LRA, WRA, Chinook,
Who you're traveling with that
FCA.
season?
Cole Ashbacker, Ricky Warren, and Tom Knight.
Nice. Oh, I know
So
Tom.
We had,
Aussie.
Yeah.
we had a real good crew going, and we got I think we figured out it was like 140 rodeos
Jesus.
in Canada. And
Oh shit! Like semi-pro, like all of it.
yeah, we
Dang.
were going everywhere.
Did you make every finals at all those ones?
Yeah.
Nice. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, it was a fun year. It was was pretty cool. And
So that'd have been
Kolby-
CFR in Edmonton too, hey?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And then 2017, I guess I was gonna still novice rodeo and but try and start entering on my permit going south a bit, and I ended up hurt pretty well all that year. I got hurt in the spring and just come back and got hurt again, but things went pretty good that year, and I made some money at the pro rodeos, and so as soon as the season ended in October, I had my card bought, and I knew I was going. I was ready to go rodeo and go hard.
Well, and Cole Ashbackers, he's kind of had the same trajectory and almost like same path as you. Like he grew up in a rodeo family, been around it forever. So is he kind of a guy that you lean on still, or you guys still hang out, travel together now, or what's that look like?
We're not traveling together now, but we've traveled together quite a bit, and I get along real good with Cole. We, like I said, we kind of come up through the same programs, and we're college rodeoing together and rodeo together, and then first year pro, him and Dawson Dom and I were going, and he's starting to really come on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because he was knocking on the door at the NFR this year too. Like he was not too far out
he
of
was,
it.
Yeah, he was what? He was 20-some, wasn't he?
I
year?
believe he was in the top 30, I believe. And
Yeah.
and
I forget the number exactly.
rode real good at the Canadian finals, and
Yeah,
he's
winning
got a
around.
good start on this year already too. So
And so how's it going for you this year? So like for 2022 so far? I haven't looked at the standings in a while. I don't even know.
the only thing I've been to for the 2022 season was the Chase Hawks.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
weekend
cool
at the NFR.
Yeah.
And had just a really nice horse there. Not quite enough to place, but went pretty good. I haven't been going to too much. Kind of was a little sored up at the finals, so I've been getting worked on, getting healed up, and getting ready to start in Denver here in a couple weeks, and then give her
Denver, Rapid City, Fort Worth, kind of
The big ones.
Yeah, but and so I guess I'm curious on strategy a little bit, but now you're going with Chase Brooks and Sage Newman. How'd you get hooked up with those guys? They're both Montana guys.
I guess in 2017 I traveled with Sage a little bit. Ricky Warren and Sage and we went just to a few rodeos while I was healthy on our permits, and Chase, we traveled a little bit in 2019, and then 2020 there we just, when everything got shut down and then we were starting up again in the spring, we kind of got together and said let's give her a go, and yeah, we get along real good. Tanner Butner travels with us too from Wyoming, and we get along real good, have fun, make a lot of miles.
So when you're the only Canadian guy in that crew, though, what's the traveling like? Do you fly down and meet him in Denver? Are you in the States all the time now? Like what? Like once you leave for Denver, you're jumping in the truck, like in the van, and meeting them. Is it your van? Do they have vans?
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. How many? Do they have like a van gang?
It's a gang of vans.
Yeah, it's a
We've,
It's a
gang.
herd of vans.
We've been mostly in my van, I guess, the last couple of years. And Sage, he just bought a new rig, a real sweet one. They only made like 140 of them. It's a
What is it?
1995 Dodge Scotty, and it's
I gotta look this up.
a 1-ton pickup, but it's got a camper built
I
onto
know.
it.
Yeah,
and you
I've seen
can
those
walk
before.
through, and it's got 3 beds and full bathroom, full kitchen.
Probably just guzzles
And-
fuel though. Or is it pretty good?
It's pretty good.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
95.
He said he was getting 19 miles a gallon on
Shit,
its,
that's
on
not
its maiden
bad.
voyage, and he was doing some work to it. So I think we're gonna take that this winter. And,
No way.
That'd be
That's
fun
this.
as hell.
So that's this rig. It's not a dually rig though, is it, or is it a single?
his
single wheel?
isn't that big. It
Didn't-
doesn't have the.
Chad and Pank and those guys used
Is
to
this
roll
the
on
kind of
something
thing like that one?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
It's like the
rod.
precursor to the Capri camper. It looks like single cab, but you can walk right through it.
Yeah, you can walk through it.
No way.
And
Dodge
it's got
Scotty.
12 valve in it.
$20,000 US to buy one.
They're hard to
Pretty good rig.
they're hard to find though.
Yeah,
There's not too many of them out there.
You probably could just trick it out. So it's
In a
sweet for
retro
rodeo
van.
and- oh, that'd
Does
be
it still have
awesome.
the sweet blue and blue and pink stripes on it? Is that the colors?
His doesn't have the pink, but it's got blue racing stripes on it.
Really? You guys gonna get some
I think
sweet-
blue and silver.
Man, it would look good to have a big Chimo sticker right across the front of that. This is kind of an unknown, but the Progi Panda thing, like, it's like,
We're gonna make this a movement.
yeah.
We get Chimo. We're gonna get Chimo on board. The Progi brand at Rads with Chimo.
But strategy though. So you guys are trying to hit everything you can. Or are you going to? Are you going to?
Are you spend some more
I
time
don't
up
know.
here next year?
Yeah.
What's it look like?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because with them, it's probably tough because you got to duck off and fly back and forth a bit.
well, they want to come up here and try and make the
Okay.
Canadian finals too. I mean,
Is that okay on the vaccine stuff? Like, is that all okay, or do they got to wait till that's done, or what's the deal?
I guess we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what
see.
the government does here.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping we get a full season up here next year.
Yeah. Me too.
Been missing lots of Canadian rodeos, but
Yeah.
It was wild to see like at the CFR this year, like you and Ben weren't there. A few of the other, like Scott Gunther wasn't there.
Yeah.
Some of the top guys who you expect to be at the Canadian finals, not seeing them there was kind of weird.
and that's I wish I would have got up here a little bit more, but you know
You gotta do you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
kind of
Going to
got to
Vegas
follow
was
the money
priority
and
number one.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
try and get to Vegas. That was number one.
Well, then like so looking back on last season, when did getting to Vegas become a reality, or was that like obviously that's a goal for most guys heading into each year? But when were you like, oh shit, like I'm actually gonna do this?
Oh, that's tough to say. There's someone all the time telling you, oh, you got her made.
Yeah.
And that started after San Antonio in the winter, and long ways away then. And
Yeah.
I wasn't real comfortable that I made it till into September.
Yeah. Till it's all
Till the
done.
dust is
Yeah,
settled.
yeah. But it was looking like I was sitting pretty good, and it was a lot nicer. Like the last couple of years, I kind of been just on the outside of it, heading into the end of this year.
21st in 2019. 2020.
2019 would have been your first CFR, right? In the bronc riding?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which that would have been Red Deer, so that's cool. Nice.
But to be 21st and win 68,000, you're not very far out. You probably only missed it by about $6 or $7 grand, eh? Maybe less.
I can't. I think it was a bit more than that, but
Okay.
it wasn't all that far. But had a chance to right at the end, and it's tough rodeo in that way. It's tough when you got to go get on everything. You got to go try everything, and
I gotta be winning everywhere.
yeah, and you got to be winning. It was a little nicer this year. Could kind of just roll along and enjoy it, and still a little worried, still trying, still want
So
to make sure. And
Are you the kind of guy who like watches the standings or kind of where you're at there? You kind of just let it like do your job and let the cards fall where they may.
more just go ahead, do your job. Take it one horse at a time, one jump at a time, and just do what you know how to do. And it's all going to work out how it's going to work out.
So when did you like you said kind of end of September would have been that when you had that sigh of relief, like, okay, I made it. Now you can kind of like start preparing for that. So what was that time frame from when, like, okay, I made it, now I got to get ready for Vegas. What did you do in that meantime to get dialed in?
Well, I guess I kind of took a bit of time, just go hunting and not worry about rodeo for a while, and which I think is good. I think I'm starting to do that more and more when I get the opportunity to go just do something else, clear my mind, and then I got in the gym, and Brad Clifford there with Migration Unlimited, had me in the gym there in Calgary, and we're working out, and I was doing stretches and going for chiropractic and different treatments, get feeling good, and I guess that was probably the last 3 or 4 weeks before the finals. Started really working at it.
So what was the feeling riding into the first round? I guess you've been the grand entry, you've been part of it. I guess like what was that like?
Even just
Like showing up or entering, like
going to the banquets the first couple nights and all that. Like
Get your
tell
back
us about-
number, yeah.
Tell us about Vegas. Like what was the experience like going for the first time?
It's pretty crazy. Like it's all exciting. There's so much going on, and I was really working actively to take time to sit back and take it all in and enjoy it, because it happens fast, and they keep you busy there. Like you don't get much time to just go take off and do whatever you want, and so it was all exciting. It was all fun, and go in the first day and take pictures and do the grand entry practice, and that's fun. It was like, okay, I'm actually here. I actually made it. Like it's time to go.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was fun and exciting and pretty crazy time.
What was the feeling standing on the back of the chutes over top of your first horse? Did the night where you want to puke? Did you want to? So what was
Can
going
I-
through your head, man?
Can
Yeah.
I guess one thing quickly?
Yeah, I guess.
I just don't want to get fined.
That's in the grand entry. That's where it
Yeah,
starts.
that's
Just
true,
walking
too.
on the site.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I guess I don't really get too nervous or worked up, and I thought I might there, and I just kind of looked around. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty sweet. I wasn't.
But it's just another
I was just
rodeo.
excited.
Yeah, once you get in the chute, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's nothing different.
Yeah, same thing doing all year,
Yeah.
and
And for your whole career.
all year and on all the practice pens, you're riding like it's 10th round in the NFR, and then you get there and it's just another
I've been doing
practice
this
pen.
for years.
Yeah.
Talk about how it went though that week.
It was pretty good. I guess I'm not satisfied.
Yeah.
I'd say
you
like,
want to win more.
yeah, I want to do better, and I'm excited to get going again and try and make it again, try and do it better. But I can't complain. It was a pretty awesome week, pretty fun, and had a few good horses, few good rides, and I had a pile of family and friends come down. It was
Well, I didn't
unreal.
realize that your dad has is it 10 or 11 different brothers and sisters or something? Is that right?
13 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit! So you got a lot of aunts and uncles and cousins that were all.
Yeah.
How many tickets
Wanchuck
did you have
family
to?
reunion would
How
be
many
a heck
tickets
of a
did you have
time.
to buy as extras to go to the rodeo?
My mom, I was glad she was taking care of that, so I didn't have to worry about any of it. But
Yeah.
she had spreadsheets, it's Excel sheets, and was
Okay.
buying tickets from
Yeah.
everyone in the country and
Holy.
line it all up. And there had to be. I think she had organized for 40 different people for tickets at different times, different
Wow.
days. And
Crap.
yeah,
Who'd else you buy tickets from? Did you talk to Zeke and talk to Dawson and all the other? At least you
least
had
there was a bunch
5
of
or 6
Canadians.
guys there this
Yeah.
time. Plus
Uh,
everybody else.
some of them, but like from Danes and Robinsons and
Yeah.
some other families that have
Have tickets.
season tickets down there and weren't going to be down for the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, talk a bit about being able to share that moment with your family. You guys are you're the family guy. You spend a lot of time with those people. That had to be such a cool moment to be at your first NFR and have everybody there supporting you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty special. I mean, it's real exciting, but having everyone there and everyone else getting to enjoy it, I mean, that's what makes it really special. It's pretty cool.
Talk about your mom a little bit. I feel like she's kind of underrated.
She's
or
probably a very patient woman.
yeah. But I just want to know a little bit. For those who don't know, Joan Unger, CFR barrel racer for many times. I want to say she went there a ton of times, didn't she?
I should only
remembering
made
wrong?
1 year, but
Okay.
she rode pro barrels for quite a while.
Yeah. I remember seeing the name in the standings forever. She did it for a long time. I want to say too.
1 year she was first in the world for a few months.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Come out and won. I believe it was Hannah and Tabor when they counted for the next year's standings. They were
Yeah.
the weekend after the regular season, and she won both of them.
First in the world.
Yeah, and then was first in the world till she went down to Denver and got to go win a rodeo and go hard. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty neat. I was obviously remembering very wrong, but I've known her name since I started being interested in this business. So talk about her for a little bit.
She's obviously been a big influence on you and your rodeo career too, eh?
Yeah, my whole family, there's any one of them's ready to help with anything if they can. And my mom, if I'm trying to look for flights or trying to get something organized, I'll look for it. Don't worry. She's wanting to
She's your
help.
agent, basically.
Yeah, yeah, part time.
Yeah.
She's done so much for me and my brother, taking us to practices when we were roping, and we go a couple times a week. She'd be taking us someplace and getting us, when I started riding broncs, getting us to all the high school rodeos and all the practice pens we could. And
Probably hockey when you were kids too, a little bit, or what was that like?
I didn't play a whole lot. My brother quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's always very, very busy, and then trying to barrel race and train
Yeah.
horses herself too.
Well, and when did your parents get together then? And when when she was rodeoing, was she going on her own a bunch too? Because if your dad is working rodeos,
She
he's
probably
only
saw Ricky working a rodeo and been yeah.
Actually, the story goes when the first time my mom brought my dad home
To meet her family?
To meet my grandparents. It was right after Dad broke his neck the first time, and he was in a halo, full, like, you know, just been in a full body cast for a while. And,
Holy shit.
And
Holy shit.
my grandpa says, yeah, she always liked finding sick animals and bringing them in, healing them up. But
Oh, dear.
yeah,
Broke his neck for the first time, so this happened a few times.
A couple times.
yeah, that was
These are clowning wrecks or rodeo wrecks? Or?
that one was riding broncs. That
Oh,
was,
really?
That was the last bronc you got on. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So did you get to bring your dad like down the chutes with you at the NFR and they have the
There's
even,
none
like
of that
medal,
allowed.
none of that, like, none of that stuff
No.
is allowed. I don't know how it works. I never made the NFR, so that's what I'm asking.
At the NFR, you're not allowed to have any fun at all, unless it's
No
somewhere
fun-
else
no
besides
fun
at the
zone.
arena.
Yeah. No.
NFR, no fun rodeo. No fun allowed.
No
But
fun
seriously though, you don't even get a companion.
Yeah.
No. They're pretty strict on a lot of
How
things.
many fines did you get?
I
Ooh, tickets?
think I got just two little ones.
For what?
Okay.
One I had one document that I didn't have signed on the right day before the
What
finals.
hell? What kind of document is this?
I'm not sure. I just got that,
Saying that you
An
understand
email
that there's
today.
fines at the NFR.
and then I got one for wearing my feather, my hat.
You're not allowed to have a feather in your hat at the NFR.
No, well, not from a predatory bird, and
That's
which
unbelievable.
I wore it the first round.
but if you're with First Nations or Métis, would they be able to tell you no?
In the PBR, I think
No.
you're allowed to wear it still, right?
if you're blood, you're okay, and that's like our family actually has a lot of ties to the First Nations up, like in Goodfish Lake,
Yeah.
Kikino area. Like my dad, he's an honorary member of the Kikino Métis settlement, and
And they still wouldn't let you.
and the chief of Whitefish Lake actually wrote me a letter, and they had the feather blessed and smudged and gave it to me, and so I was really hoping they'd let me, but they said no, you gotta be blood to wear it.
Damn.
What do you mean, like?
It'd be like
You,
know,
have
like,
to be carded,
Yeah,
Oh,
you have to be, like,
okay.
First
Yeah.
Nations yeah.
I see.
and
Jeez.
so I got a warning the first round, and then the 10th round come around, and then that's my dad and uncle said, "Put your feather in, we'll pay your fine."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How'd it go that night?
Pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good. Got on. I didn't place, but I got on feather fluffer and
Yeah.
took her laying down, and then
Cowboy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she come out was pretty dang fun.
So what's the fine for the feather thing? Like, how much would that cost?
$250.
Huh.
That's such bullshit.
Yeah,
But-
it's total bullshit.
But that's the thing. I did the math because I was thinking about it, and JB Mooney said he was going to take the fines, and after the third round, when his fines had doubled 3 times because it doubles every night and adds on. So I did the math, and it works out to about $200,000 by the end of the week if you wear the feather the whole time.
Damn.
Jesus, Murphy.
Just like squeeze
What a
you for
joke.
everything you're made of.
But
So how close were you to Wade's wreck in the Grand Entry?
I was already
He's
out of the
Iowa,
arena.
so they're
I think
Canada's first.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I was already out of the arena, but I actually, I told him I'm not riding my horse after that night either, because I almost ended up in a wreck that
Oh,
night,
really?
and it had been, well, I kind of did end up in a bit of a wreck, and it had been pretty close to a wreck every night before then. Nothing like Wade's deal, but mine, I don't know. I think that's the only thing he gets used for is the NFR once a year, and he knew the drill. Like, I'd get him settled down in the tunnel because he'd be sitting there prancing, and I'd get him settled down, and as soon as the Cowboy Town come in, he'd be jumping on top of Scott Gunther's horse and
Oh, geez.
blowing around, and then we'd go through the arena, and like in the practice we were running sideways the whole time trying to take out flag girls because you're trying to go through it slow. Once we got going fast, he was good. He just let him run. He was all right.
Holy.
But then we get in the line, and he'd stand there real good, and then right at the tip of the resistol, you put your hat back on, and he'd rear up and go flying backwards. And
Oh my, what a
that
miserable prick.
that night Wade got bucked off. He did that, and as everyone was running past behind us out of that middle section, he went flying backwards and spun around, and we run into Stetson, and I just turned him like, I'm running out, like I'm in the middle of everyone right now, and that's I got up and so, yeah, I need a different horse. This is gonna be a bad wreck
Yeah.
one of these nights.
Yeah. Holy shit!
Well,
Keep
because
active.
when we talked to JB, he knew one of the pickup men, and they gave him a bunch of his
Yeah, I
pickup
think
horses.
Chase
He was like,
Servey,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
He had
actually I got
Cadillac.
I got on the horse JB was riding after.
Oh, I guess after he got hurt.
he got hurt there.
That's right.
Hurt his groin, so I got traded into that horse. He was pretty nice.
Okay, question: does Stetson Wright hang out in the bull riders' dressing room or the bronc
Ooh.
riders' dressing room?
Bronc riders were way cooler.
Really?
Oh my
He
God.
doesn't hang out with the bull riders
It goes over there, yeah.
once
but
in a while, but he's like,
this has one bag in each locker room.
yeah. What does he do? Does he have one in each, or
Actually-
or does he have all this stuff in the bronc rider room?
I think he gets his rope ready in the bull riders room, but he hangs out in the bronc rider room and
Oh,
gets
I wondered
ready
that.
in there.
I had that same question about Ty Murray. Which room did he
There's
hang out
3
with?
rooms to choose from.
Right? Which one?
I would have a bag in each
Which
room.
one does he fight in?
I'd have a bag in each room.
Because the bareback riders have what, boxing
They box
matches?
each other,
What do
yeah.
you guys do? Is it leg wrestling?
That all ends up happening in the bronc riders room.
Oh, it all. Oh, so the bronc
in the
ri-
10th round that everyone
you
comes
box?
in there. We had some wrestling matches, yeah.
Who'd
win?
you wrestle?
Cody DeMoss, and I
Really?
think
Well,
I
he's
was
pretty
winning.
old.
And he
He's
bit
like
my
twice
ear a
your
bit.
You
age.
got old
but-
man strength though.
yeah,
Oh shit!
That's
What
awesome.
was the most fun part of being at the finals this year? What was it, or was it that 10th round? Like, it's probably I would think some of it would be the camaraderie and getting to hang out with those guys and having a beer or whiskey after the round, just like hanging out away from it all in the dressing room. Like, that's probably a lot of the funnest shit.
yeah. I mean, that 10th round afterwards, and it's kind of a sad time, but it's kind of like
that was
okay,
the worst part about
Can
rodeo.
relax,
Yeah.
can relax for a minute now.
Yeah,
like,
kind of exhale and take it easy.
And I
Don't
was
have to go sign any autographs on fucking Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. And I was pretty sort up, so I was like, I'm good to have a little rest here and just not
you
worry
just
about it
rest
for a
like Cody
couple days.
DeMoss.
And yeah, and then we end up having drinking some beer and wrestling, and but it's pretty fun, and you get to celebrate other buddies that have done good, won the average, won the world, and everyone, all the bareback riders, bull riders, stock contractors,
You guys must have the biggest room.
personnel. Yeah, we get the biggest room.
Oh, okay, I get you.
So everyone
They got
come in
saddles.
there and-
Saddles.
Yeah, they got saddles.
Yeah, and it was pretty fun, but I don't know. It's tough to say that what the funnest part was. I mean, that first night riding in the Grand Entry, and you're out, you roll out there and you look around and you're
Did you wave to your mom?
a minute. No, they were sitting straight behind us.
Oh,
I
you
was-
couldn't see them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you see anybody you knew in the stands?
Actually, Mike Uthier was standing up there making some crazy faces and hand signals at Zeke and I every night.
Oh shit.
Well, talk a bit about being around a guy like Zeke. Like he's
Kind
a
of a
badass.
veteran
He's
already
a veteran now. He's been around the
two-time
game
world
for a long.
champ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's kind of a cool guy. He's kind of leading the way for the Canadian saddle bronc riding wave we're seeing now.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
Where did
that's we kind of there's a bunch of us that come in at a good time, and we got Ben and Dawson and Logan and Ashbecker, all of us guys. We were all kind of coming up and watching Zeke and Clay and Jake. And Leighton.
Yeah.
Kind of
Leighton, yeah, I forgot
push
about
through and go hard and make it. And as we were kind of coming up through amateur, and this can be done, and of course Zeke, he's had a lot of success. He's done really well, and we've all kind of got to follow along, and he helps out. Like at the finals, I was worrying about stuff, and he says, "You come here and you can have a terrible week, or you can have a great week. Like it, you don't worry about it. Like it's not even anything you're doing necessarily." Like I was worrying after I bucked off a couple, and he said,
There's 10 horses you got on there.
"Yeah, you still got 4 more."
You can win 100,000 in 4 nights or in
Yeah.
4 nights.
Yeah.
It can all change.
Yeah, he says when you're rodeoing all year, you go 10 horse a row and not win any money, and you're not gonna be too worried about it because you got another 40
Much
to
more.
get on before the end of the year, and
Yeah.
probably get something won. So
Do you think there's something to ensuring that you do well at those ones? So question there, but then secondary, what's the difference between the guys that's 15th in the world and the number 1? Like, how much variation is there? Is it some of it's a little bit of luck of the draw, some of it's, but you guys all ride very similar. Where in the bulldog, and it's attributed to the draw a lot of times. They're like, everybody's mounted so well, they all bulldogs very similar. It's a matter of like, you got to draw well and you got to perform and score well, but like, how much different is in the bronc riding? Like, there's not that much separation in any of the events at the finals.
well, no, and it's tough. Like there are so many good guys out there rodeoing right now, and like it's only getting tougher all the time. And you know, it's a different sport than it was when I was a kid. Like everyone's working out and going hard and you know, trying to eat right and different stuff. That
You guys are being
Going to the
athletes.
gym
You guys are
now. Yeah.
athletes.
yeah, and when it comes down to it, I mean, guys can blame the draw, and sometimes you have to. Sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
Can't be
That's
too hard
part
on
of being
yourself.
in a sport where 50% of your score comes from the animal. That's just,
Yeah.
it's inevitable, right?
Yeah, I mean, you try not to blame your stock, but sometimes you'd be like, okay, like there wasn't much more I could do with that one. But that's where those guys that are consistently at the finals and consistently in contention, they're the guys that can go get on anything and find a way to make money on it. I mean, there's 50 bronc riders going right now that could be 90 points on any given day with the right horse. But to be at the NFR and especially be in that contention, you have to be able to go and place on the worst horse out there. You'll be able to do something with it.
How do you do that?
It's hard. But that's something I guess we're always working at, and you kind of got to be hard on yourself a little bit in that sense, where you got to fine tune and find every point you leave in the arena where you could improve and where you could do a little bit better on the next one, and then it's a confidence thing too. Like you got to go in there. Okay, I can. You know, I know.
And you can do it. You've done it. Like you've proven it to yourself already.
Yeah.
Like you've rode the good horses. You placed in all the big rodeos. It's like I think once you can convince yourself of that, it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, and you've been on. That's why. You know, I don't mind going and getting on some wild colts once in a while too. Like every
Keeps you
horse,
honest.
every horse teaches you something, and you need that little bit different feeling from those different style horses, and it gets you that little bit more, that little extra point you got because you got your foot set when you probably shouldn't have been able to, and you know you got to just keep pushing to do better all the time.
So do you have people who help you along with that? Like, do you like send your videos to somebody and they like kind of break? Like, you could have done this here. You like guys like Zeke or like some of those top end guys or some mentors of yours.
I guess like I send all the videos to Mel and you know, and he gives me some tips and it's usually like, you know, something basic that you know how to do and you just didn't realize you missed.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't do it that time, and then like. With my traveling partners, we'll sit down and we'll go through our videos and each other's videos and like try and pick up on little things and things we could do better and things we could work on and just try and fine tune all the time.
Talk about Winston Bruce and his, I want to say effect on your career, or his influence is a better word.
Well, Winston, he called me. I was kind of starting to get bronc riding figured out a little bit, I guess, starting to spur some, and he called me. He said he was talking to Mel and said, I want you to come to my school this weekend and get on some and see if I can help you with anything. And Winston's such a cool guy. I mean, he had a totally different mentality about anything. Like he was a philosopher about bronc riding, about bucking horses,
About life.
And from then on, he was always, you know, he'd see me ride, or I'd send him a video, or even he'd just message me out of the blue and just give me some advice. And
Winston would text you?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. And I've got some messages that like I've saved that are just pretty cool, you know. And he just thought about everything differently, and he'd always be pushing that you got to think about things differently. You got to mess with your own head. You can't get into routines like. Every morning, you probably put the same sock on the same foot first. You don't notice you do it, but you probably do. So, and just stuff like that, you know, you got to actively make yourself do it differently and be messing with your head all the time. You know, just keep yourself sharp and keep your head working all the time, and it'll make you more adverse when you get on a horse and something different happens. And
You're kind of like pushing your limits and getting you out of your comfort zone too,
Yeah.
right? It's easy for people to get that like be comfortable where you're at. And
Yeah.
you kind of just like, okay, this is fine. I'm never really going to push yourself outside of that limitation.
And in this game, there's always someone else coming that's working harder. So you got to always be pushing, you know.
Well, and it's got to be fun to be part. Like we kind of touched on it already. Like that movement of the Canadian Saddle Bronc Rally. Like, we're at a point where you could see over half the guys competing at the NFR could be Canadian guys. Like, what do you think is attributed to that the most?
There's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. I think like I said, that group that kind of the group that's a bit older. That's
I think really not that
been
old
in the
guy.
finals. No, they're not old guys. That's I don't want to say that.
It's just
but
funny. Like
they've been
the
doing it a
veterans.
little longer.
Yeah.
And have been successful, and we got to watch that and kind of be a part of that a little bit, and you know, like I got to travel with Watson quite a bit, and he helped me out with that. You know,
Jake's a good
what
dude.
it takes. You know what it takes to go and what it takes to make it, and that and the amateur associations up here are outstanding. Like I didn't realize how good they were till I started visiting with some of those guys that, you know, go to amateur rodeos in different states and stuff, and you know, it's nothing like it is up here. Like
We're spoiled
CCA
with our
rodeos,
bucking horse. Yeah.
I love CCA rodeo, and there's always good horses, good money, you know, and
Good people.
and 40 some rodeos a year.
Yeah.
You know, you could stay
like
busy.
70
at it.
some years. It's a lot.
Yeah,
of
there's
Well,
CCA.
between like the MRCA and the Chinook they co-sanction with, like you
Yeah.
could go to a lot of CCA
Yeah.
rodeos in a year.
Then like the amateur program and then the novice program, obviously, and
And that's what contributes to these waves of Canadian bronc riders that just keep coming. There's a lot of
We're spoiled
there's
with
a
their
lot of good.
horsepower up here too.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and there's so many guys raising horses. I mean, there's practice pens 2 hours away wherever you live. There's a practice
Yeah,
pen
really.
within 2 hours that
Unless
bucks
you're
every
in
week.
Fort McMurray.
Yeah,
Well, you couldn't be that far from McDonald's, really. You can't be that far.
Yeah,
to
like
get
the
down
wish
there.
is only about
Yeah.
another 2
Yeah,
hours.
like,
I
honestly,
guess,
so Fort
it's
Mac's
true.
not that bad.
It's true.
yeah. And that's like even you get up like Peace River. There's practice pens. And
Yeah.
Grand Prairie and so there's a lot of opportunity because of that, because of so many guys are getting into the buck and horse game, and then great mentors that are
Well,
like
like
Roddy
Mel.
Hayes at every
Rod,
every
yeah.
practice in
And-
Rimby pretty well.
And these guys are willing to give back and like be
Yeah.
those mentors, because it'd be
Yeah.
easy for those guys to just not do that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
They still love it though.
Yeah. So it's huge having guys like that around too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask
you
about
go
your
ahead. Go ahead.
your 94.5 point ride at Calgary this
Yeah,
year. That'd
good
be
one.
pretty cool. Hey, like
Yeah, that was
probably your first time in the arena and the saddle bronc ride in there, like, and just shoot the lights out. Like one of the best bronc rides we've seen ever.
that was pretty crazy, and that's wow. I wasn't really expecting that day. Like that horse, he's been around a long time, and guys generally don't like him that much. I mean, there's been a couple guys had some luck on him, but that's not his usual trip. And I don't know, he come out, and I didn't even after I got off, I didn't know how many points I was going to be.
Yeah.
I was like, that
Knew it
that
was
felt
good.
Yeah, I'm like that was. He was kind of making me work, and I think I was keeping up with him, and it felt pretty damn good. But
Is that the best feeling bronc ride you've ever had, or not quite? Or do you know?
that'd be up there.
Yeah.
I mean, that there's still things I could have done a little bit better. You know,
Could have been
You could have been
96.
100. Yeah.
it's like a jump or two. You know, or you looking, okay, I could have got my toe turned out a little better on that one, or whatever. But I don't know if I've been on a horse that's felt that strong, and that, you know, he's a great big farm animal, that horse, and he's just droppy, and his head's right in your lap, and he doesn't take any rein at all. But that one, or I got to get Smart in Salt Lake City this summer.
Oh, yeah.
And he had quite the trip. He blew out of there and then stayed close in front of the chutes and was kind of fading across in front of the chutes. And
I think somebody said they thought that could have been more than the Calgary ride.
that one, it felt like it could have been. I don't know. That's
Dang. You were
That's-
still
how-
92 or
92,
something there,
yeah.
weren't you?
90, I think. Got
90?
third, but
Oh, jeez.
but that one, that was probably the best feeling bronc ride I've had, I guess.
Was that your what was your first 90? Was it the one in Calgary?
Was San Antonio in the wild card round, I guess.
Nice. What was that
Wi-
feeling like,
Wild
smashing
Bill.
your first 90?
Especially in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place to do it.
Good timing.
Actually didn't feel that great. Wild Bill's not a very fun horse, but
But that goes back to what you're talking about, though. Like, that's what's going to set you apart and keep you in that top level is those horses that maybe don't feel as nice. You be able to smash those 90s out on them or, like, make good rides. It's going to set you apart from the crowd.
yeah. And now, like, that's another one. He doesn't feel great. He runs everyone's saddle back and, like, yanks the tar out of everybody. And I wasn't that excited that day. And that's what I drew. And I know I got to be a lot of points to come back. And,
Yeah.
and shoot, I don't know. I kept up with them, took a judge out, so that kind of helped, I guess. But
Speaking of judges, where are you at on the mark out rule? What are your
good
thoughts? What are
question.
your thoughts on that?
I like the mark out rule. I think that rodeo is at a point where it needs a video replay.
Like, so you could challenge if they call
Yeah.
you as a mark. Yeah, okay, cool.
100%.
I like that. Yeah,
It's the only
Screw
professional.
you, judge.
yeah.
I did mark him
So then,
out.
so then, how do you do that at the Hand Hills of the world?
That's the trouble, and that's I think
Maybe,
like,
but it's going to have to start at the top, though.
it's
You're
got
gonna,
to start at the
it's going to
top.
start at the
The big
NFR, and
rodeos, yeah.
it's going to filter down. It has to.
And I think that's the answer, because there's a lot of arguing about the mark out rule, and I think it's a good rule, but I think it is also it happens fast. I mean, people complain about how could they not see that and this and that, but
It happens fast.
it happens fast, and it's
Could sneeze and blink and
and it could come down to a couple inches, where your spur is, right? Or if there's contact, or if it's half an inch away, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why I think like rodeo is the only professional sport that doesn't have video replay, and I think the only reason it doesn't is because Las Vegas events keeps the NFR on such a time crunch. Otherwise, they'd
although
already
it
have it.
wasn't this year though as much.
No,
They did slow
No.
it down a bit, eh?
and that's I was saying what they could do is if you challenge a mark out, they could do a video replay after the perf and decide at that point. Mark you anyways. If you miss one out, you get marked anyways, but they don't put the score up on the board and put miss out, and then they can do a replay after the rodeo and
Just
decide
give
where you
them
get a
fucking
score.
grand entry.
Yeah, bring the
Just
breakaway
adds more.
ropers.
I was just adds more time to the show rather than muck guys out.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
stupid grand entry.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's the WCRA. They've started that.
And you've had
Video
some
replay.
success with them. You want a sweet surfboard.
Yeah,
You ever take that thing for a
I
rip
didn't
yet?
know that.
put it in a pool. It doesn't have fins or.
Oh, so it's
or
not
anything.
legit?
It's a trophy.
It's a trophy
It's
surfboard.
a trophy. Yeah,
That was Corpus,
pretty
wasn't
bad.
it?
Yeah, the border guards, they thought it was a real surfboard. Want to charge me a bunch, bring it across.
Yeah, duty, eh?
but, yeah,
Dude, I won this.
but
Did you see the sticker on it? I'll show you the post from last week. The
I want
picture.
it, dude. I want it, dude.
yeah, but
What do you think of the WCRAs? Those are pretty sweet little deal.
Yeah,
little bonus.
they're
eh?
pretty cool. I mean, obviously the goal is to be at the NFR and
Be a world
take a
champ.
run at a world championship. But that WCRA, they're doing a lot of things right, and I really enjoyed like the few rodeos that there's I've been to have been really good. And
Are you consistently nominating and going, like putting your money down to go to a couple of those, or
you
you don't have to do a ton, right? You could just add a couple, and as long
Yeah.
as you do good at them, you're going to make the WCRA deals.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Like we look at our schedules and which ones we can get to, and yeah, they're I don't know. We enjoyed them quite a bit. That Corpus Christi was fun, and the Salt Lake City deal, the gold medal rodeo. I mean, it was pretty Olympic rodeo. I guess it was pretty cool, and they have the video replay. Like Sage,
They're doing it. Yeah.
they threw a flag on him, and the other judge said, go for the and the other judge, he watched the replay board and he grabbed Sage, said, hey, go hit that challenge button. Said, I thought you had him. Like, I know you had him on this side, but you had him on the other side too. Yeah, it got reversed and got a score.
Then he just goes up to judge,
And I just had to sit I just had to sit on my horse for another minute. Like I was already crawled in. I just sat
Yeah,
there for a minute.
so what?
And they went over it.
as long
All
as it's
right.
not a wild one, you're fine.
Yeah,
And they can do it quickly.
yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't be like, oh, my bad.
Have you ever
I
gone
was
to any,
drunk.
like an FU match with any of the judges yet?
You can't.
No.
It's not allowed.
Not allowed.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen before.
Yeah, but those guys aren't at a very high level.
I've seen it. You've seen that at some of the high level people have done it too.
I've seen a few matches, but I haven't got into any.
That's good.
The Canadian Canada versus US or Canada versus Utah bronc match. When are we going to see this?
I don't know. That was just an idea we had in the
Where would you
locker room.
have it?
Well,
Neutral ground. Bermuda. Probably would have to be St. Tite. That could be cool.
it was just kind of an idea, I guess. Like the bronc matches are kind of starting to catch
They're
some
cool.
heat, and
Well, look
Yeah.
at the hard grass.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
and just
Hard
kind of
grass, huge payout on the first round. Just a big long round, short round.
Just make it- just
10
make it a
guys, top 5 Canada US showdown.
Just make it a 2-day event. Just have your bronc match the first night, and then have your Canada versus US show out the next night. Like, just make it a full weekend instead of just one perf.
It's just kind of an idea, and like that's just different format idea for a couple bronc matches. Do something a little different. And
Who's gonna win?
We could have
Canada.
medals. Yeah, that's neat though. I like that.
That's cool, man.
Okay, I don't know what else.
I'm out. Man.
It's probably supper time. Storm just made some.
I gotta go get groceries.
Okay, thanks for coming to do this.
Well, we
though.
got one more question.
Yeah, we
the
still
last
one more.
question.
Anything
Okay.
else you want to add too? Anything else you want to add? Like, did we miss anything? I'm curious now.
oh,
No?
not too much I can think of.
Did we get it all?
You want to ask us anything?
Yeah.
You don't have to. I was just wondering.
No, didn't prepare any questions.
Okay.
It's an interview, man. Come on.
What's the Step Brothers one?
Okay.
When they interview?
It's like, well, we're gonna interview you or something.
Yeah.
I can help with this whole Pam situation.
All right.
All right,
Bad
Kolby.
ways.
We ask this question to every single one of our guests. What is your definition of cowboy shit? We've talked about a lot of cowboy shit. Like, even like you taking a horse laying down, that's cowboy shit.
Mm-hmm. And that's that phrase covers I think covers a wide range of definitions. But I guess to me it's it's kind of that bearing down in tough situations and keeping your head down but your chin up and just pushing through and getting it done.
I like it, man.
Thanks for doing
I
this.
love hearing people's answers to that question.
yeah.
It's been, like, we literally haven't had. It's been different. We've done this our 108th episode. It's been different every single time, unless it's been a repeat guest. But sometimes those are different too.
It's true.
It's cool, man.
I
Thanks
appreciate
for the
you
time
making
there.
that
Yeah, that's awesome.
trip up here.
Thanks for having
All right.
me.
I'm falling. Show me what it's like to be the last one standing. Teach me wrong from right. I'll show you what I can. Say it for me, say it to me. I'll leave this life behind me. Say it if it was saving me.
All right, save the viewers.
All right.
Bam. Nickelback.
Okay, that was Saving Me by Nickelback and Wacey Anderson.
Hey, who sings that song? Nickelback. May as well. Why don't they just let them sing it? You know, like classic
No,
joke.
nobody said that.
It's funny to...
People are probably thinking it,
It's
though.
funny to hear you sing with not a lot of backup music.
Because it's bad.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It makes
not
it
ideal.
worse. Like,
know,
karaoke is less bad when
I love
people
to sing. I
have
love it.
backup
And I know
music.
I'm bad. I know I'm not good. But I just love to sing, but I wish I was better at singing.
Friendsmas,
Just so I
you
could
were
sing
the
more.
Friendsmas.
Pretty
you
good
were the
entertainment
only-
waste during
The
Friendsmas.
only
You know what? I think my
karaoke guy
performance
going.
of the night was I Wanted That Away by the Backstreet Boys.
always is.
the
Yeah.
Back of Street
That was a good one.
Boys.
That was a
That-
really good one. Big
So how about that Wanchuck family?
Yeah. Tell us, you had something you wanted to talk about.
Colby's got the
Kolby.
craziest eyes in pictures when he's riding the horse. I don't even know how to describe it. It's diabolic. He's looking down
There's
the
a
horse's
demon
head
inside of him.
and his head kind of gets looking up at the sky just a little bit, but those eyes are trained on down where that horse's head is, and it's next level terrifying when you get to see it
Yeah.
up close. But I mean, he does it good, so what does it matter what you look like?
How often do you see it up close, Cove? Does it get weird, or is it
Well,
okay?
it's only ever me zooming in on it on a computer.
Oh, it's not like you're on the back of the chute. She's like, oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ, did you see those eyes? No, it's a
These eyes.
Do you know what used to scare me before they got on an animal? Was Ken Siemens.
Kenny Siemens, yeah.
He was terrifying. He
Yeah.
would just like, he'd be taking his rap and like just stare. Like, he'd pick somebody up, but he'd be like the gate man
Was
or
he a bullfighter or
or somebody and just like look like he's about to like fucking come
Go
at you like a
fight him.
spider monkey.
Coverchuck's got a real mean face this last
I guess
year.
it must be just what it takes to,
But
to do the thing.
He goes from getting chirped by his buddies on the back of the chutes with a smile on his face to when he's actually taking his rap, his face just turns into I'm about to go to fucking battle. And I mean, as
That's
it
probably what
should.
he is. That's probably-
Basically, that's what they do.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what they do.
it is.
It's pretty cool, man.
I think I just remember being like really slack-jawed and just kind of like just trying to
Relax.
trying to be relaxed. When I did well, anyways. When I did bad, I was probably nervous as shit.
Do you guys hold your breath, or did you ever once it's kind of going on, hold your breath? Because that's something I was.
No, you got to breathe in and
You gotta
out.
breathe, man.
No, I know, but that's the one I always want to tell people is when they get one in there, it's just kind of being a dick. And when I was like, okay, you're gonna have to breathe through this because it looks like you're gonna be battling before the battle. And
I wonder
and I feel like
if
guys
there's
just
more
kinda
to
get
that.
slammed.
Where like once I started thinking I was there, if I stopped breathing, I wonder if that was part of it, where it's like it's a bit of a mental break and you just kind of like clamp
Right-
down and try and
right
get there.
before you nod, just to
No, like halfway through the ride.
oh,
Like maybe it's like happening and it's fine and smooth, and then it's like trying to hold my breath, and then that's when you get dick slammed. Maybe that's
Yeah.
how that happens. I wonder.
Anytime
I have to think it back.
I can like anytime I think, like you get on a nice bowl and you're like, oh yeah, here we go, and then next thing you know, you're on your fucking head.
yeah,
But it's whenever like I just trust the stuff that I've done, like the training and all the amount of stuff I've done beforehand. That's when I do my best. But yeah. It was another factor though when you'd get on like a bull that fought the shoot or whatever. Like there's definitely a different element to it.
The only
Yeah.
time I did good when I fought a bull in the shoot was in Innisfail, and I don't know why. It was just one time.
I had a few. There's a few. One of the first pro rodeos I went to, Camrose. I got a big bull of Schellenberg's. He was huge, like big as a horse, and
I think horses are actually lighter than bulls. Do you
but
mean
like
tall?
Tall.
He was
tall
tall. Okay, I get different definition.
Man, come on.
He was tall.
You don't need to do this.
He was a tall.
You don't need to
bull.
do that. He's big as a horse.
He was a big, mean, tall, scary
I'm not
bull.
telling the story anymore. It's over.
He's a big, tall, mean, scary bull. And he fought the shoot because he was too long for the shoot because he was a big bull. Guessing? I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Let's
That smells
move on to
really
something
nice.
else.
He's a big, tall, scary bull.
Did we touch on
Did you poop your
Innisfail by
pants?
chance?
Did you poop your
I'm not
pants?
telling the story.
And
anymore.
the rodeo world
Innisfail?
losing
Oh, Jack Deans.
an
Yeah.
icon of the sport.
Yeah.
Mr. Deans. That was
Sad times.
yeah. it's
I
really
did not
sad
know
times.
that he invented mutton busting. I forgot about
Really?
that part.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
really.
badass. I
Which
didn't
is
the
know
crazy.
inventor of
that at
mutton
all.
Something we
busting.
did lots as children.
Child abuse.
It's like a
Number one.
frowned upon child abuse. It's kind of like a cute child abuse.
Yeah, as long
Feel like
as-
you like anybody from any walk of life will take part in mutton busting. Like with Edgar Bishon.
So far.
exactly.
People line up at the door to do that.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
true.
As
They're
long
not
as,
even like part of.
as long as they're not
part of
going to
it.
take off along the fence, I'm not too worried about it. Get humans along the fence because then you won't rattle any kids' brains.
So, going on, since you've been home a lot lately,
Be able to catch up on some television.
on some shows. Storm and I watched all the Harry Potter movies in the last, I don't know how long.
Michelle and I
Are you a
on-
big Harry Potter
It's kind
fan?
of like a week.
Storm? Yeah.
so,
Okay.
eh?
Cool. You guys do have like a Nimbus 3000 hanging up in the hallway.
You have a Nimbus 3000?
That was
Can I
Storm's
ride
Christmas
it?
present. You can borrow it if you want.
Does it ride good? Sick. Me and Michelle are on Sopranos right now.
Sopranos?
Cranking through that.
Yeah, and we did. What else we do? We watched Yellowstone this winter.
Mhm.
We watched.
What are your thoughts
Big
on
Sky.
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone?
You've seen all 4 seasons. What are your thoughts on it?
It's a entertaining show. They've done a very good job of making Western entertaining in a way that is both
It's consumable for
both,
anybody.
Both mostly authentic. What did you say?
You said mostly.
Mostly.
It's mostly authentic, Wacey, and it's very entertaining. Done a
Mhm.
good job that way. Good storylines. I think like kind of
Some of the season 4 storylines
little
are
bit-
kind of funny to me.
well, and it moved really slow at times too,
Mm.
where it was like really going. I want to see season 3 was like really happening
It's fucking
quickly,
crazy.
but yeah,
But like, 'cause,
4
like,
was a little bit slower.
like the native guys, like they were pretty much non-existent in season 4.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah, like
hardly
aside from
Are
like
you
Case-
guys spoiling any fans?
Okay,
We're not talking any specifics.
If you haven't watched Yellowstone yet,
season
Skip
4,
forward.
go ahead and skip forward on this one. Yeah,
There we go.
We-
Spoiler
well,
alert. Spoiler
well,
alert.
the show's almost over
It's
now.
been
If
out
you've
for
been with us
it's
this
been
long,
out for a week.
yeah, but not everybody watches shows like you. They don't consume entertainment as quickly as you, Wacey.
I tend to
Most
binge.
people, I think
Everyone
most
do.
people do.
Some, yeah, no.
I'm
they don't.
excited about the Book of Boba Fett
Nah,
in,
it's
the,
been great.
in the Star
It's
Wars
been
universe,
awesome.
but I'm waiting for there to be like 6 episodes so
Yeah,
I can
fuck
just
that. I've been
binge it over
watching
2
it.
Binge
days.
through it.
Yeah.
I watch it weekly.
I don't know. I think you take
I like
it in
Big
a little
Sky
better.
too, based on the novels by C.J. Box.
Don't know
So that was cool. I like Big Sky. Nobody else reads books these days, I guess. So
I-
I've
listen
already
to
read
books.
like 2 books
in the last year,
in the last 3 months.
that's great.
Yeah, so stop being mean to me.
I'm not being mean
Yeah,
to
you
you.
are. You're being a dick to me right now.
I was not. I was.
You
I was
didn't let me
saying
tell
who
my
reads
story,
books.
and then you're chirping me about reading books.
Tell us about.
I'm not telling the story.
Camrose
Welcome back
story.
to the
Ship has-
Cowboy Shit
the
podcast.
ship has passed.
with
Tell us
Ted
about.
Wacey.
Tell us
No.
about Camrose,
I'm not
and the big
telling
bull
it
that was
anymore.
as big as a horse.
I'm not telling it anymore.
As big as a horse.
It's over.
He weighed 1,300 pounds.
1,300.
I'm curious now. What the story?
I'm not telling it. It's over. Too late.
Too bad for you.
The
I got a story.
the Yellowstone memes are going around though that it's funny to think that meme culture makes me want to watch the show. There's the one where it's talking about each character in
And like
relation
what town?
to a town.
Yeah.
they'd be
So
from.
whoever made the Alberta one killed it. It was so funny.
Yeah.
There was also a funny one about PRCA rodeo stock contractors.
Oh no.
That was pretty good.
Oh no.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
That
one.
was pretty funny.
Should we do a Canadian version?
Did it get
We
political?
could,
would
but
that be
it's going to be
bad?
bad. We're gonna get letters if we do
I'm
that.
gonna put Foley as Jimmy.
Let's look at this.
Full dizzle.
Okay, I know where I saw it. Alan Jordan shared it on Facebook, so I'm going to find this quick for us.
So one
this would be
thing-
a good one.
One thing I've found different in TV, consuming The Sopranos, which will be my third time, but showing it to Michelle for the first time. We're coming off of watching Breaking Bad, where I just hated it. I thought the characters were written terribly, but I mean, it was an entertaining show, to take words from Ted. But only 20 years ago, shows were that kind of slower burn. You were...
But a build.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was no social media. There was
It's
no
kinda
things
like,
to pound into your face the whole time. There wasn't constant taking it in where it is now. So when you actually are sitting down to the show portion, it had better fucking wow you, or you're
It's
not
kind of
coming
similar
back.
to the way social media has developed, and like even just the way people have developed over the last. It's like the
They're trying to break into the house.
attention spans are so short that
Oh yeah, got to be good at while you're going.
you can't. You just got to be nonstop action, or people are gonna be engaged the whole time, or else people aren't gonna watch. I've had a lot of friends who watch Yellowstone and they haven't liked season 4 because it hasn't been like constant action. Whereas
Yeah.
for somebody like me, it's been really cool.
Bit more drama.
Well, coming from a Western background, to see like cutting horses
All
and
the
reining
fancy
horses,
horses.
and that like stuff you don't see in the mainstream ever. Like being able to see that shit on a national TV show is
Pretty
so
neat.
cool to me.
Okay, Wace, can you read that, or do you need your glasses?
So we got the PRCA stock contractors explained as Yellowstone characters. So we got Rafter G as Lloyd or 4EJ Smith.
Yep.
We got Stace Smith as Rip or Cole Hauser.
Mm-hmm.
We got Fedig. Is that?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. That's Teeter. I don't know where.
Teeter, yeah.
That's the guy, Little House on the Prairie guy's daughter.
Okay.
Someone Damon. And then we got Birch Pro Rodeo is Walker or Ryan Bingham.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Corco, which is
Luke Grimes.
Casey or
Casey?
Luke Grimes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Butler, which is Beth, or what I can't remember her name is, but she's very English though, isn't she?
Yeah, she
So
is
yeah, so
actually.
that's kinda
Didn't
cool.
realize that.
And then Flying U is I don't even know who that character's name is.
Yeah, he's
He's one of the Cowboys. He's
one of the
he's Teeter's
Cowboys.
boyfriend in
Yeah.
the deal. He's pretty good though.
Then you
And
got
Frontier is Kevin Costner. Servy is Jamie. I also hate Jamie's such a fucking pussy. I hate him so much. He's a bitch. Stand up for yourself. You know what I mean? Like or just
true.
own up for your shit.
It's
Honestly,
true.
like you said, just like fucking
stop being a little bitch.
stop being a little bitch ass.
Stop being a little bitch.
And then C5 is
Gil Birmingham.
Gil Birmingham. That's good. That's funny. Then Barty.
But is it bad because he's the one of the native guys? Is it? I don't know.
Say it's bad. I don't think it's meant to be. I don't think it's meant to be offensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, people can take it as offensive, I guess.
Yeah. It depends what you take it.
But it is 2022, so people are probably
gotta
going to be
mindful.
offended.
Gotta be mindful of that
Some
stuff.
folks are going to be offended.
Be mindful. Barty is Jimmy. Jimmy's become my favorite character in Yellowstone.
I agree.
By the way.
I like Jimmy too.
But I also need to say
Jefferson White.
they need to let that guy take his spurs off. There's no way that motherfucker's driving all the way from Texas
With his spurs on?
to Montana with your spurs on. No fucking chance.
You should ask some of your buddies from Texas what they think.
Should.
Might be a real thing.
And then High Low Pro Rodeo is the
Summer.
the rights activist girl.
There's a gal that runs a stable just out here that I used to
I wonder who.
have
So
a horse at. Weird to say.
So who are we going to do the Canadian version right now?
yeah, the Canadian version.
Ouch.
But do
Ignore
your
Covy,
story.
God.
Koby, do your story. Jealous.
Just on social media said she watched it for the first time and said that there is way too much unprompted neighing and horse noises for when there's nothing actually going on.
And see, but I think that's Hollywood trying to make it like people
Smack you in the face with the Western knife?
non-Western people though, right? Though, like you watch 8 seconds and how much of the bull noises are not actual bull noises, are fabricated, but they're just trying to like have that effect of being like, oh, this is like danger,
fair
danger.
enough. That was just her takeaway
But I
as
think
someone
that's the one
surrounded
thing.
by
The
it.
one thing that you have to do as a person from like a Western background, you have to like remove yourself from it being like everything needs to be accurate because you need to think of,
dude.
like you know what I
Yes.
mean.
If you sit me down to watch a racing film, I'm gonna sit there and tell you
just pick
wrong
it up.
track. Clip from here.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Or even
always
like
done
watching
as
a
that.
hockey movie, like you watch Mystery Alaska and the goalie has a wrong-handed stick the whole game and it drives me fucking up the wall. But for a guy who's not for a person who's not a hockey
Yeah.
fan but just wants to go enjoy the movie, like they're not going to notice that. It's just
Yeah.
it's just part. Like, as long as like
So we ruin it for ourselves.
But to be a really great movie, you don't fuck that stuff up.
No, for sure. No. But
So-
I mean, it's just like you can't pick it apart too much, or else you're just gonna not like it. But it's actually pretty good shit.
So if we're doing Canadian contractors, rodeo or bull riding,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start us off. John Dutton is Wayne Vold,
Yeah, 100%.
I think.
Yeah.
Kind of like the mafia boss, Wayne
Would
Vold.
Nansen be Rip?
I want to say Nansen be Rip or Beth. Like Nansen.
Did you just
just
call
'cause they don't-
Nansen a
Wait,
girl?
could be
not a girl.
we
Just like it's the feeling of the company.
for how
Yeah.
much I've seen
Right?
Dwayne Kessler get mad. Could he be Rip? Because Rip just gets mad. He's just a mad guy.
I don't know.
I haven't seen I haven't
She's
seen
just
Dwayne mad this whole year.
Beth just gets like fired up like for no reason. I don't get it.
Okay, we got Wayne Vold as John Dutton. I think that's step number 1.
Foley is Jamie.
Foley's
no,
Foley's
Jamie.
Jamie. No,
No, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
So Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy. Yeah.
We can't call anybody Jamie,
Jamie,
or
no.
we'll get beat
We'll
up.
get in trouble.
Who else do we have? But I think Nansen could be Butler because he'd just be, although he doesn't smoke any cigarettes.
Be Jim.
Or sorry, could be Beth.
Yeah.
Just because they like Nansen. Nansen doesn't have any rules. Nansen does what he wants.
Duffy, who's
John Duffy.
Yeah.
John Duffy could be
Lloyd.
Forey. Could be Lloyd.
Yeah.
That could work.
That's a good. That's a good. That's a good one.
That
Yeah.
could be true.
Cody Stranquist?
Cody Stranquist. He's probably Casey.
Yeah,
That's right.
probably.
Did
Yeah.
you say he's Casey?
Yeah,
Who's a
probably.
military guy from here up in Canada?
Doesn't have to be military. Doesn't have to be
guy?
What about the
Yeah.
Wild Hogs?
Wild Hogs? Where do the Wild Hogs fit in? They're like a
It's hard.
gang, though. They're like all the
Hard.
ranch hands.
They could be the Sixes.
The 6, yeah, the 4 6s. This is the Wild Hogs.
I don't know the show.
Who else do you have on the rodeo side? You could say like
We got C5 again.
Outlaw Buckers. Where are you putting Outlaw? Who are you going with Outlaw?
This is a Wacey question. Still haven't seen the
I'm
show.
trying to think.
Outlaw, you could almost say it would be Bingham. Like
Yeah, it could be.
Walker
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're outlaws.
Outlaws. Yeah. Yeah. He's an
I
outlaw.
don't know. I'm scared to do this. To
I
like
don't wanna say
this
the
is
wrong
like
thing.
somebody like doing
What
it
about
as a meme.
Sundstrom?
They're like,
Listen,
I
we're
didn't
just
make
making
it.
fun. We're just.
I didn't make it.
There's no ill intentions here. We're just having a little fun.
Except for Foley, you're
Except for
definitely
Foley,
Jimmy.
you're Jimmy for sure.
Full dizzle.
But in saying that, Jimmy's my favorite character. So
Yeah. So what are you saying?
I like Foley.
I wonder.
Wait, so
Wonder how you
James
do it.
Foley, Jim, is Jim
he's
in the
Jimmy.
show?
Has to be.
Boom,
Yeah.
look at that.
There you go.
It's true, right?
Hell yeah.
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited for season 5 to see what happens. The last episode
Yeah.
of season 4 was good. They did a good job wrapping up that season.
Yeah.
Was
I thought it could almost be over. Like that could be the end of it.
No, it can't be the end.
They're-
Of it. There's
they'll
too
have-
much. There's too many loose ends to tie up.
I'm sure that they can make more of it, but I thought they could also finish it.
You need
too.
one more season.
Okay.
I would say. I say at the very least.
I hope they keep it going, but I don't know how they do it at a level like that.
there's still a lot of stuff to wrap
But
up.
that
Like
clip-
what's gonna happen with Jamie, and like because there's like Jamie's still gonna be on the warpath.
What's gonna happen with the ranch?
What's gonna happen with the ranch? What that? There's no way you can't tell me there's no way that's the end of the line with Jimmy and that fucking barrel racer girl. No chance. There's no way that's the end of it.
I thought they rode off into the sunset.
Yeah, I was
But they
just
were
gonna
off in the
say,
sunset.
speaking
I was
from
talking to somebody and
experience.
they're I was like saying like fuck Jimmy's probably just been following my TikTok account. It's like getting horse girl advice or just
Okay.
like you know what I mean. So
We better wrap this up. Thanks for listening, folks.
Thanks for
If
listening.
you've got some
folks.
ideas
before we
on-
wrap up, don't forget to check out our sweet sponsors, Manscaped. Get 20% off free worldwide shipping. Manscaped.com. Promo code HugeBush. And don't forget to check out Circle 4 Ranch Water and Beverage Company at ranchwater.ca. And don't forget to check us out on social media at Cowboy Shit Official on most platforms. At Ted Stovin, at Wacey Anderson, at Koby Moore. We're all over
About
it.
that, 3 names for
We are
Unique guys.
handles.
check it out. We
Unique
always got
humans.
something going on. We're gonna be in Texas next week, or this week when it comes out. We're already in Texas.
yeah, we're in
So
Texas.
yeah, if you're in Texas at this time and you want to come say hi to us, we're at the Wacey show. So come say hi and we'll have a go.
Have fun, safe travels, boys.
All right. Thanks for listening once again. This is Cowboy Shit. Thanks to our guest, Koby Wanchuk. Thanks to our editor, Sean Moore. Congrats on the new baby, Sean. By the
Hey,
way,
new baby number 3.
He's not like Monty. Hasn't had
Shout out to our
but-
boy too, Monty Phillips. He's gonna have twins.
Yeah.
That's crazy as hell, man.
I like the way it was put. We make them in singles at the Morton house, not doubles.
The second floor is hot for sneaking out. And this is where I went to school. Most of the time had better things to do. Criminal record says I've broken twice. I must have done it half a dozen times. I wonder if it's too late. Should I go back and try to graduate? Life's better now